Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Brian's Nerd Pub. I'm Adam, and welcome to the watch along of Godzilla, the '90s one, starring Matthew Broderick. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce our very first guest. We have Matthew from the Geeks Attic.
Hey Adam, how's it going tonight?
Good. How are you going, man?
Doing good. I'm excited to watch some Godzilla, man. It's a tacky movie, but I love it. I don't care what anybody says. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. It's like I said, as a Godzilla fan, good monster movie. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around that it's called Godzilla. But,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it definitely has a different look to him.
Yeah, well, this movie is actually canon to the actual Godzilla movies.
I'm sorry. I'm having some issues here. What was that you just... I don't have to repeat it if you don't want to.
Oh, that's okay. I was just saying...
I'm sorry. This Netflix thing just keeps going off in my ear.
Oh, no, you're good, man.
Trying to pull it up. It's just super loud.
I said that this movie is actually canon to some Godzilla movies, the Japanese produced ones.
Oh, yeah.
Because
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because the Japanese Godzilla actually fights this version or this in one scene. But
I have to look that stuff up. I need to see that. I need to see more Godzilla is what I need to do.
I would definitely recommend watching like from the late '80s on. They're the better ones. Anything before that, they're just kind of cheesy, but I still love them.
Yeah, I mean, little cheese is fun, you know.
Yeah. But while we're before we get started, you want to go ahead and tell everybody like what any upcoming projects on your end?
Well, next week we've got the Paper Movies discussion where we're going to talk about Godzilla King of the Monsters novelization. I'm making it through kind of slow, but last couple of days I put a lot of time into it. So I'm midway. I'm halfway through chapter 11. So
yeah, I just started chapter 11. I gotta just like sit down, like maybe when my kid goes to sleep, and just barrel through it.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I just read Poe Dameron, Free Fall, a Star Wars YA novel, and yeah, it was okay. I did a review on that over at the channel. So
yeah, I saw that review. Yeah, everybody should go check that out. It's a really good review.
Thank you.
Hey, Rob D, thanks for joining us today. We're about to get started watching Godzilla. So, Rob D, if you have Netflix, we're going to be watching the '90s Godzilla, the first American Godzilla. And a little upcoming project of my own. I just recorded my review, and I'm going to start shooting it and hopefully have it done by this weekend. But I'll be reviewing Dawn of the Jedi. Into the Void.
That's awesome.
No spoilers as to my overall grade or what I thought of it, but I just recorded the actual review, so I should have that up to you guys hopefully by this weekend.
Good.
So, other than that, I'm let's see, what's the other one I'm going to do? I'm going to review the Darth Bane trilogy. And oh, hey, Tanner from Scarlet Riders Geek Corner. Thanks so much for joining us today, man. Everybody, that's my friend Tanner, Scarlet Riders Geek Corner. Everybody go check out his channel. He's got great content. And thanks so much for joining us today, Tanner. Rob D, I'm going to pull up your question right here. He asked, did you guys hear the Snyder Cut Justice League is coming 2021? Yeah, I was wondering if that was going to get asked tonight. Yeah, actually, we did. And I'm not sure what my thoughts are yet. I'll still watch it. And I'm hoping that it will be good. I was talking to Matt Wilkins about this, and I'm hoping that it'll be good, or at least better than the actual Justice League movie, but we'll see. But I heard that it's either going to be a 6-part show on HBO Max or a 4-hour movie. So, what do you think about that, Matthew?
Honestly, I don't care. I don't care. I never saw Justice League. I just had no interest in any of this new DC era comic movies except for Joker. That was the only one that I was really excited to see. Saw that, loved it, but I saw Batman v Superman as well. That canon, I guess that you would call it, that's the only film from that canon that I had seen.
Oh, okay.
Batman v Superman. So I haven't seen Justice League. I haven't seen the Superman Man of Steel film. So yeah, I'm completely out of the loop with it. I just know that there's a lot of angry fans out there that were shouting for the Snyder cut, and looks like they're going to get it. So that is really cool for them. So I'm happy that those people do get that little piece that was said that didn't exist.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
here you go.
I heard rumors about it, and I was actually talking with Tanner about this. It's like I heard rumors about it. Like we both heard rumors about it, but we thought that there was just people just getting us hyped up and everything. And yeah, it's just the Tanner the DCEU. Yeah, it's just it's going in several directions. Like we have two Jokers in the DCEU. We have Joaquin Phoenix, and we have what's his name? Oh man, he's playing Morbius. I can't believe I forgot his name. Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Yeah. And we have two Batmans with, well, Ben Affleck's gone, but I mean, they're going to be bringing back the Justice League movie. He'll be back, and then they're going to be bringing Robert Pattinson in. And
I'm excited for it. I mean, I really did. I enjoyed Ben Affleck's Batman in Batman v Superman. I thought he did a really good job. He had the build for it, in my opinion.
He was definitely a very brutal version of Batman.
Yeah, he was.
Out of all the Batmans, I would not want to take him in a fight.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mostly because this Batman would probably kill you. So
yeah.
But,
no fear there. Am I too dark?
Just a tad bit, but
I should have turned the lights on. Maybe is my lamp? Is that bad?
Oh, that's fine right there.
Okay, yeah. I've got all my workstation back there. You could probably see my lights for filming are behind me too, so it's just a little junky back there.
Yeah, I see your circle lamp there over by your guitar.
Yeah, the ring light.
Let's see. Yeah, Tanner from Scarlet Writer's Geek Corner said, "I didn't think it existed. I thought it was just chopped up, unfinished pieces." Yeah, I thought that's what it was too. And from what I heard, it might still be like it's just him, like Zack Snyder. I mean, the studio gave him like $30 million to finish it.
What if? Yeah, I'm sorry. What if that's what it was? Was just a lot of the cuts that were just like CGI, like they did with the Clone Wars when they didn't finish it. It's just like, here's some of the half done CGI. They just like filled it in. That'd be horrible.
I mean, on a $30 million budget, that's very possible because I mean, $30 million isn't very much in film, I'm assuming. I don't know. I mean, I just see budgets for some films like all the way up in like 50 millions to finish this movie, and like, so I'm assuming that it's not that much, but I could be wrong.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I do know that there's supposed to be a version of Superman where he comes back, but he doesn't have his blue suit. He has like a black and white suit. He's got like a beard and everything. And instead, we just got a CGI'd out mustache.
Yeah, I saw the clip on that one floating around the internet. Looked horrible.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I'm just like, throughout the whole movie when I was in theaters, I was just like, what is wrong with him? There's something different. Then I looked at like, oh, they CGI'd out some a beard or something, and or a mustache. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have more guests. I know that Jeremy is thinking about joining us. He probably will. But we are going to we'll go ahead and get started with the movie. And hey Yak Face, thanks for joining. Hey guys.
Yak Face.
I never liked Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Good actor, but not for the right role. Yeah, you know, he was different as Lex Luthor. When I first saw it, he kind of reminded me of like the Riddler or something. I mean, he kind of had like long reddish hair, and he was like acting a little crazy but highly intelligent. So I just kind of got a Riddler vibe from him.
Yeah.
But Scarlet Writer's Geek Corner said, "I saw this movie opening weekend." Are you talking about Godzilla or Justice League, Tanner? If it's Godzilla, yeah, I saw this movie in theaters too, and I was blown away by it.
Yeah, me too. I even had the soundtrack. I remember going to Taco Bell, I think, had the cup holder that you'd put in like your window in your car. You can set your giant cup in there.
Yeah, I got one of those too. Yeah, I can't remember where it is. I mean, let me grab it. The only thing I have from my youth as a Godzilla fan is this little puppet that you saw in my thumbnail.
Yeah.
It does actually roar. Like there's a button inside his mouth that you have to press. Tanner saw Justice League opening weekend. Yeah, I did too. That was actually the one movie where my brother threatened to kill me if I spoiled it. I actually sent him a text and he said, I was just like, hey, about to watch Justice League. And he's a massive Superman fan. And he said, no spoilers or you die. but, and, Scarlet Rider's Geek Corner said Billy Cranston would have killed it as Lex. Billy Cranston. That name sounds familiar.
I know that there's the other Cranston. Why can't I think of
Bryan Cranston?
Yeah. He corrected himself.
Cranston. Okay. Yeah, I heard he was supposed to be. I thought there was a rumor there was supposed to be that he was supposed to be Lex Luthor. And yeah, he would have been fantastic.
Hold on. Whoa. Rob D. The only Godzilla movie that Rob D has seen is King of the Monsters.
Whoa. Are you talking about the new one or the old black and white one? I'm assuming the new one, but wow.
Well, I guess I really don't have much room to talk because the only Godzilla movies that I've ever seen are the one from 98 and the one from 16?
14, yeah.
14? I don't know why I keep saying 16. I think 2016 is mentioned somewhere in a book.
I do know there was a comic book that came after it, so maybe that story took place in 2016. And I'm going to read that before we do the paper movies, because I think there's a part of the book that I don't remember from King of the Monsters that I think may have taken place in the comic books. But anyway,
okay,
I'm gonna go ahead and get started.
Okay,
the most recent one, Rob D. Sorry about that. Okay, all right, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn it down. Don't want to get those copyright strikes. And
are you gonna do a countdown?
Yeah, here we go. All right, here we go, guys. For all those joining us, we're gonna be watching Godzilla on Netflix. And I'm going to go ahead and count down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And play. And guys, feel free to ask us any questions, or if you have any interesting facts, like maybe any Godzilla related memories or any other just anything. Just we'll watch along and answer questions along the way. And Rob D said he's also seen most of Godzilla 2014. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Honestly, you could watch like the last half and basically have seen the whole movie. I mean, that's the only part Godzilla's in it mostly. So, I mean, that's mostly what you came to the movie to see. So,
yeah.
That's who did this, TriStar. I was wondering. I like this opening.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Roland M. He directed something else. I can't quite remember.
He did Independence Day.
That's it. Yeah.
2012. Just all those cheesy movies.
Hope all of you guys out there are staying safe too. I mean, I know some states are reopening. Me and Matt's state here in Oklahoma is starting to reopen, and I think we're considering going into phase 3, but I haven't heard too much about that. So
yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. That's kind of been the motto of 2020. We'll see. Oh, speaking of which, for all of you Dragon Slayer fans, Matthew here made a he made a meme. That was the best meme for all you. It showed the cast of Dragon Slayer at a party during the movie saying what I wanted in 2020, and then it showed that dragon that says what I got in 2020.
Yeah. It's like it's funny because in the picture that you could see in the flames that the dragon's spitting out at the bottom, there's people in it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is that made me laugh.
I mean, it's a good metaphor. Everything's been good. The pandemic is the metaphorical dragon flame. Let's see. Rob D asks, do you think Godzilla versus Kong is going to be good or stupid? I want to say it's going to be good, but the thing, I mean, I watched the original King Kong versus Godzilla, and that was cheesy because honestly, part of it it's still classic, but there were still scenes with Godzilla and Kong. Like you can clearly tell it's like someone holding up toy dolls in the background, just like ramming them together. And I mean, I want to say it'll be good. I mean, I definitely think have some intense action in it, but I just I know that they had to delay it because of everything, like most movies. But I think it'll be good. But I just I want them to. I'm kind of torn though. I want them to have like good action, but at the same time, I also want them to like have a good story. Don't just try to like sidewind us with monster action.
Right. See, I'm looking forward to that. I did read the novelization to Kong Skull Island. I read it before I saw it. I wanted to see it because the visuals looked really cool in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember why I didn't see it in theater. Probably because kids happened. But when I read the book, I actually enjoyed the book. I think I reviewed it. It's on my channel, but I'm pretty sure I enjoyed the book. And then when I saw the movie, I was like, yeah, book was definitely better.
Yeah.
Thoughts, in the books.
Yeah, I want to read that book because the movie was so. I mean, it had a good
cover of the book. The cover of the book was awesome too. Just a silhouette of Kong walking into the sunset.
I saw a King Kong novelization at Half Price Books, but it was before they go to the island, and I'm like
that's. Oh wait, yeah, the.
It's a prequel to the Peter Jackson
one. Okay.
Yeah, I was just like, I mean, I'm sure Kong is mentioned or at least cameoed appearance, but I'm just like I don't know if I want to read about them before. Like, I want to read about them going to the island, or at least another story happening on the island before they go there.
Yeah. See, something that I wanted to mention about the opening credits that I liked a lot is it explains why the creature looks the way he does. Like I can see he's got his own vision, and for this movie for Godzilla, like he looks like the iguana. As we saw why, it's like here's an island with iguanas on it. Here's all this radiation, crazy stuff happening. You get a giant monster out of it. What the Godzilla that we know from previous stuff and since, what kind of creature is it supposed to be?
In one of the movies, that's actually I got a poster of it, Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. He was a dinosaur.
Oh, okay.
Just like a rare, called a Godzillasaurus. And he was affected by the H-bomb.
Okay.
And there's some versions where they just kind of hint that it could just be a large marine animal that just gets mutated by radiation. But,
yeah, I know that this book, The King of the Monsters, explains stuff for this storyline, but we'll talk about that in paper movies.
That's right.
Or we could talk about it here. It's whatever.
I think paper movies would be good. What I liked about this opening scene is that I mentioned earlier that this film actually connects to some Godzilla movies, like from Toho, the Japanese company. Because you see, the original Godzilla appeared in 1954. So I'm honestly thinking that sailor where they were asking like that witnessed Godzilla's attack in this movie, I think he honestly thought that was Godzilla because. But at the same time, I'm just like, I feel like the whole world would have known about that. Like, even if like they weren't alive at that point, I'm just like, I feel like that would have been documented in history. Like, oh yeah, by the way, in the 1950s, a giant lizard attacked Japan. But
so you had like a Men in Black situation going on for the monsters.
Yeah, everybody's just like, I also think in this scene, it's funny that they have to include a musical theater reference for Matthew Broderick.
Yeah. He has a background in that stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's been in several musicals with he's been in The Music Man. I know that. He was in Ah, geez, The Odd Couple. I don't know if that was a musical or not, but the producers. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay, yeah, I remember the producers. I know this is tacky, but I like that van. I like that.
Oh,
It's cool.
his scientist van. Yeah,
Yeah,
you kind of need a van like that when you have kids.
yeah, yeah. And we don't have one.
Yeah, we should
Need one.
get one. Yeah, the Geek Mobile or something. um. So everybody in the chat, what's your favorite part about this movie? And we've all seen it. Unless you haven't seen it, then if you haven't seen it, then maybe just ignore the comments.
Yeah, or let us know if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, let us know if you haven't seen it, if you don't want any spoilers. Yeah, I bought the animated series that's a sequel to this.
Yeah, have you had a chance to watch it yet?
Not yet. I've seen a few episodes, but I just got to sit down and just watch it. But it's kind of similar to a 70s series of Godzilla that was done by Hanna-Barbera. It just shows go ahead.
I was wondering, like, is it the time period? Is it during the events of this film, or
After?
like after?
Yeah, same.
Which makes sense because there was a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know why this lighter is the only thing that gets that guy's attention.
I always thought that lighter was cool. The giant flame.
Mm-hmm. It looks like it's like a sword. The lighter itself.
Wish he'd be in more movies.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually they actually planned a couple of sequels to this that he was supposed to be a big part in. And I think the sequel was supposed to have Godzilla in Australia, which I think would have been kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always funny to look. I'm going to look at things that I haven't really paid attention to before. It's like the military stuff, when they're holding their rifles.
Mm-hmm.
You tell if they had like actual like trainers on set if their fingers off the trigger. But in a lot of the old action shows and movies, you'll see where like the people that are just walking around holding their gun have their finger on the trigger.
Yeah, that's that they don't have training when they do. It's just like I know I've heard some stories that like even when you're like on patrol, like your finger has to be at a safe distance from the trigger at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Rob D says, watching it for the first time, I might be about 3 minutes or so behind you guys. Oh, okay. Then we'll just hold off on spoilers, Rob D. And Yakface says, I haven't seen it, but do not mind spoilers. Watching it now, I didn't realize the guy from The Professional was in it until now. The Professional, is that Matthew Broderick? I don't think I've seen him.
He's the French guy.
Oh yeah. Philippe, that's his name. Oh man, I'm so jealous of my wife because she was that footprint was actually in Hawaii, and my wife and my mother-in-law and her grandmother went to Hawaii, and they actually took a picture of that footprint.
That's awesome.
I'm just like, she told me like, oh yeah, it's a little girls' vacation, and like we're gonna go see Jurassic Park, and we're gonna go see where they filmed Godzilla, and I'm like,
that's really cool.
I know. She showed me the footprint, but it was like at an angle, so I only got like maybe like a couple of the toes. But yeah, that guy right there, the Hicks, the sergeant, the military man.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Small Soldiers, and he was in one of the Transformer movies. I know that.
Yeah, I think he was like the dad in the Transformer movies, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, he just sneezes and offers a handshake.
And that's how we got to where we are today.
Dang it, Godzilla. Man, if this movie would be made like today, I feel like all those people would be standing like 10 feet apart from each other.
Yeah. Man, what's your favorite movie, like, period for movies? 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s?
Oh, my favorite movie of all time?
Just like favorite era for movies.
Oh, favorite era for movies. Oh, man.
I'd probably say the 80s.
The 80s.
80s or 90s. I don't know. It's hard.
Real quick, sorry. Yak face, sneeze and a handshake. That may fly in 1998, but not in 2020.
True.
I think one of my favorite eras of movies was probably the like the mid to late early 2000s, like from 2000, like 2008, like because that's when we got like Iron Man, then we got like the Dark Knight, and then like I mean that was just kind of like the start of like the MCU. So I'd probably go with that. Oh, fun fact about this movie: several actors from The Simpsons are in this movie.
Really?
Yeah, this reporter guy right here, the Mr. Kamen, the guy in the suit.
Right.
He's on The Simpsons. He plays the reporter. And another guy that plays Mo in The Police Chief is in this movie too.
This actress, I don't recognize her from anything else.
I think, honestly, I have not seen her in anything else but this. I've always liked this part. He just sits down and he's just like... He just squats up like that. Kind of like a Sylvester Stallone movie. Did you know that he's actually like shorter in real life?
Oh, yeah, probably makes sense.
Or actually, not Tom Hardy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's shorter. Like I saw a fact that in some scenes they made Tom Hardy stand on top of something when he was Bane.
Like an apple box. I know they do that with Tom Hanks too. Or not Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise. I think I've heard about that too.
And yeah, I think Sylvester Stallone too. I think I've heard that he's actually shorter, but maybe I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. You can tell he's jealous.
Here come the helicopters. And it'd be terrifying to be on a boat like that.
Rob, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That was it.
Robbie says he wants to say either 80s or 90s, but I also want to say 2000s to 2010s because I'm how's that word pronounced?
Cognizant.
Cognizant, yeah, of movies now. I was only 6 in 1999. Okay.
The backpack thing. That was interesting. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
There's a soldier with a backpack thing on.
Golly, this is Godzilla went to town on that boat.
He's a good actor. I don't think he does much anymore either.
The French guy?
Yeah, you said Pierre was his name?
Philippe.
Philippe.
Yeah.
Pierre. The only other French name that I know. I always like looking at logos too in older movies.
Oh, and
you see what's changed and what's stayed the same.
Yeah. Or like I remember the Captain Marvel movie and the Captain Marvel movie. We see in the trailer, we see a blockbuster, and we're like, "Oh, we know this movie. The timeline in this movie is very old."
I missed the blockbuster, man.
Yeah, I found a meme, and I think I sent it to you and Jeremy, and it said, just
The
like,
Spirit Halloween thing.
no, it was like, it's Friday night, hanging out with my dad. We're renting movies for the whole weekend. Life was good.
Hmm.
Rob D says, "Wow, that's a big footprint." Yeah, I was just telling Matthew, my wife saw that footprint in Hawaii, like, because that's where they filmed it, and that's also where they filmed Jurassic Park.
Bro's hat is so 90s.
Matthew Broderick's hat, so 90s. Yeah, I think I used to have a hat like that back then, or it was probably like one like this, and I just like turned it around like that.
Speaking of the 90s, I have a fanny pack that I wear occasionally now. Like when we go to when we just like the family's going out places, or if I'm going to go for like a jog, I'll put it on and hold my phone and stuff. Yeah, it's made to look like it's from the 90s. It's like
Mhm.
it says USA on it, and it's like red, white, and blue, and kind of faded a little bit.
Nice. You're like, I'm bringing 90s back.
Yeah. But it's funny, like going to the zoo, I see a lot of people that wear the fanny pack.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of those too. Like it's either at the zoo or at Disney World or Six
Mm.
Flags or something.
Yeah, they're convenient.
Yeah, I just kind of grown accustomed to carrying everything I could in my pocket, like maps or something.
Yeah.
And if it can't fit in my pocket, I'm just like, yeah, I don't need it. Let's see. On the topic of old logos and movies, my dad is able to spot gas prices when gas stations are shown like a hawk. Nice. Yeah, it's crazy because it's weird nowadays seeing gas like in the dollar at region. Like,
Yeah, I remember like right when I got my license is when gas went from 97 cents to $1.10.
and yeah, and I'm sure like around that time, everybody was just like, "What? $1 for gas?" You know. And then, golly, when I got my license, I think that's when they started going to like $3 a gallon.
Yeah. It's one thing I would not want to be is stuck in the ocean.
Yeah, that's like I had a nightmare. I was stuck in the ocean, and that's not good when you watch like too many Megalodon movies or sea monster movies or Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a new guest joining us today. We have the Watcher, Matt Wilkins.
Hey,
He got his pendant.
what's that pendant? What is that?
Come on. It's a Watcher pendant. From
Am I going to be booted?
Highlander.
Oh, that explains it. Okay.
I've
Yeah.
been looking for this for like 6 months.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Okay.
Here you go, Matt. There you go. Yeah.
I am 138 pages into 212 pages, and I've got one more of these left, and then the Evening at Joe's book, which is the cast and crew writing short stories, and then I've got a Firefly book to read next, and then it's on to History of Middle Earth.
Nice.
That's
I was
awesome.
telling Matthew and everyone earlier that I've already recorded the review for this, but I'll be putting a review of this up.
I am so interested.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Hey, it's funny because in the Jeremy keeps telling him that it was like, oh, it's such a good book, such a good book. I'm interested to see where Adam stands on. I'm looking forward to that review because I kept telling him like, eesh.
Jeremy thinks it's a good book.
Jeremy likes it.
I mean, the comic book was okay. That's not a good book. Anyway, yeah, I can't wait to hear your. I'm so excited.
I was trying to be as fair as I possibly could. That's all I'm going to say.
I was very fair, I thought, to iJedi.
I was going to, mild spoiler, I was going to I had a hard time deciding on my overall grade, and I was going to do what my college professor did in college. He would say, at best it's this, at low it's that. So I kind of did something along that era, but that's all I'm going to say.
You just gave it like 4 Warus or something.
But man, I don't know if you have Netflix. We're watching Godzilla right now. So
is it on Netflix?
Yeah, the '90s Godzilla.
I turned to my wife and I said, "Hey, they're watching Godzilla tonight. Do you remember that movie? You want to watch it?" And she went, "You've seen it, right?" She went, "No, I've never seen that one." I said, "You've never seen it?" And she goes, "Is that the one with the Wallflower song on it?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Yeah, I just know the Wallflower song. I never saw that movie."
Oh, yeah.
The Wallflowers one.
It's a good song.
Yeah,
I found this from the.
That is awesome.
Isn't that song a cover?
Maybe.
Or did they originally do it? I thought that
that's a great question. I don't know. I just know that P. Diddy or Puff Daddy at the time did that Come With Me. And I listened to it right after listening to I was in the car and I listened to your message. I was picking up the girls and I was like, I'm going to listen to P. Diddy sing Come With Me, baby.
Matthew sent us a link the other day. It was a Green Day song, but and it kept playing the Godzilla roar throughout the song.
Yeah.
Oh man, you have the Godzilla roar, and the Godzilla roar you can look at YouTube, and you look at the music video, and it's just great. You don't have to watch the music video; just listen to the music video because there's the footsteps of Godzilla, and then him roaring throughout the song. I'm like, yeah.
I always wonder where they got the roar. Like, to me, sometimes they put like a microphone up inside like a hollowed out pole and like opened a rusty gate.
I know exactly what they did for the original roar. They may have done the same thing, but what they did was in the original roar, they took an upright double bass, like an upright bass. They detuned the strings down, and they took a leather glove and they slid their hand up and down across the strings to get the original roar. And maybe they edited it to make it more high pitched in the. But I knew it had something to do with the rubber glove, but I thought it had to do with the dying rhinoceros too. I thought that's how they got the sound. So I don't know. But I just know that this is my favorite Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
I felt bad. Go ahead.
Because it is one of the only times you care about the humans, in my opinion.
Like this old guy.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, this old guy, he just wanted to catch a fish, and he caught a 200-foot lizard,
It's great. Another thing about this movie that's just it goes unremembered is the smart marketing. They never showed Godzilla until the release of the film, something that's impossible to do these days. Impossible. And it was hard to do in 1998 too. Yeah. But there have been no leaks whatsoever. The toys were released the day of the movie, and I remember going to Walmart because I was dying to see what Godzilla looked like. I couldn't, and I remember calling. This is back before cell phones really had good pictures, and I was like, "Oh, you've got to come see him." He's like, "No, dude, I'm already at the Walmart in West Monroe. I see it." I was like, "Yeah, I know, it's awesome," but that's the only way we could see what Godzilla looked like because they were hiding Godzilla throughout all their advertisements leading up to the movie. You had to go see the movie, but we knew the toys were getting released the same day, so we could see them that way.
Right. We got someone else joining us. We have Jeremy from Stupid Chainsaw Productions.
Hey, man. Do you like Dawn of the Jedi, the book?
What?
Oh, I told him earlier. In like the next couple of days, I'm posting my review for it.
Oh, good. It's a better book than anything Karen Miller ever wrote. That's for sure.
Oh, well, you have to say that. I don't think it is, but Karen Miller's not very good either.
Karen Miller has the most baffling continuity error I've ever seen in my entire life.
I like how you preface that. It goes, well, it's not anything that Vonda McIntyre could do better. Well,
no, I would rank Vonda McIntyre over Karen Miller or Tim Leben.
Jeremy, we just got to the part where Godzilla first appeared in the city.
Okay. I don't know how long I'll be on here because I feel horrendous.
Yeah, I understand, man. No worries.
Having a really bad reaction to antibiotics. So
I'm going to catch up on some comments real quick. Rob D said, "My dad always tells me when gas hit $1, people went absolutely ballistic." I believe it. I mean, oh yeah, you see what he got there, Jeremy?
what is this?
The Watcher pendant.
Oh,
I remember when Matt was saying that, like, he found it online for like, what was it, $80, $70?
$80. I was like, I am not paying $80. I said I would pay, what was it? What was the magic price? I said $10. This dude was selling it for $25, but he said, make me an offer. I said $10. He went, done. I was like, so
I dropped the price.
the people that declined it, I'd have just moved on because I was like, someday I'm going to find it, because this was a cheap giveaway for the season 4, the VHSs.
yeah.
I collection. Hold on just a minute.
Remember I sent you pictures?
Shiba. Say what?
Remember I sent you pictures of when season 4 got donated on VHS to my
Yeah,
work?
yeah, I know. It had this, huh?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
See?
I gotta point out something. This scene where the Godzilla just walks right behind the news reporter, like in that his secretary was just like, I think your story just walked by the window. I'm just like,
Yeah.
man, she is keeping her cool.
Yeah.
Way too good.
You have to realize this is a movie where every single character is comic relief.
Well, yeah,
but
I mean,
it's not a comedy.
most
It's
of
the
the
strangest thing I've ever seen.
I was telling Matthew a minute ago that some of the actors in this movie were voice actors on The Simpsons, like Animal here, Victor Animal, Hank Azaria. Yeah, he plays Apu and Chief Wiggum, and the news reporter plays like Kent Brockman. So
I'm telling you, I love the cast. I loved how we used the R word in it, because you couldn't use it back then, and they fly it around. It's great because that was the 90s. And I was telling Jeremy, that this is the only Godzilla movie where you care about the human characters.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't care about any human character from any other Godzilla movie, but I enjoyed these human characters, and I didn't have to say that. Go ahead.
What's
Raised up?
I think your mic cut out for a minute there, Matt.
Oh, mine did?
Yeah, you kind of.
I don't know. Geek's Attic looks comatose at the
I
moment.
look at how this CGI is not the best like today, obviously, but it's still, to me, it looks good.
It's passable.
Now you could watch it on an older TV and I think it'd blend in.
Yeah,
just
I
fine.
think this is one of those movies where high def didn't do it any favor.
Yeah.
Well, no, but
this was one of those ones when I was switching from my DVDs to my Blu-rays back when I had a huge like physical media collection. This is one of those ones I was dreading switching over because the DVD has some really good bonus features on it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Also has that awesome teaser trailer. I don't know if we've talked about that on here yet.
Yeah, Face said people went crazy when it went up to $1.20 during Desert Storm. I couldn't drive yet, so I didn't care.
Okay, yeah, Face. Let me tell you this. When it went up to $1.19, it was $1.19. I said I will never. I remember I filled up my car and I told all my friends. I said I will never pay $1.19 for gas again, and I haven't since.
Yeah, because it just
we were 5 cents away in Monroe before they started. The moment phase 1 was in effect, it jumped 20 cents that day in prices.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, it jumped back up. I was like,
gas went back up to $3 in California.
Oh, well,
that's low.
Ours was $1.29, and then one place had $1.24. I was like, they're going to be the first ones to get to $1.19 because they were always 5 cents below everyone else. And then the day that morning, I was running out to get some errands. I went, should I get gas now? It's $1.29. I said, no, I'll wait. And when I got out of the Walmart, $1.49, and that was everywhere. Everyone changed their prices that morning.
But Matt, you mentioned that they didn't show any footage of Godzilla in the trailers. And like they said, they did that with the Rob D said they did that with the Basilisk too in Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah,
but the difference in the Basilisk and Chamber of Secrets is the movie was called Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, not the Basilisk. This is Godzilla, where the main title character is not shown in any of the previews, in any of the ads.
It was
in the music.
it was some of the best marketing. It's the earliest marketing I remember from a movie. I can be completely
brilliant.
And for being in 1998, too bad George Lucas didn't take a couple notes before releasing the Phantom Menace.
I was gonna say,
Emmerich.
yeah, the R yak face, the R word, Roland Emmerich.
I'll be honest. This is one of his better movies.
I
Yeah,
was gonna say, I remember two like glimpses of Godzilla when I was a kid and I first saw this. But that honestly, the glimpses were that giant hole in the building that he made, and when he like attacks a plane or something. That was it.
Also, the other one, and you've already seen the pier scene where he's sliding into the pier in the water. It's brilliant. I love that scene. And
Yeah, we got you, yak face. Well, I was telling what's kind of cool is
It's true.
I was telling Matthew this, but this movie is actually canon to some of the Japanese-produced Godzilla films.
Yeah, the Toho adopted this into canon when they were finishing up because this Godzilla shows up in Godzilla Final Wars.
Yeah, fighting the Japanese Godzilla, and they were
Which Godzilla throws it one time and kills it.
what's it called?
I have to see this.
It's called Godzilla Final Wars. It was
Came out in 2003, I do believe.
Came out in
That was-
2003. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah. It was
Final Wars.
Yeah.
Shut up. And he's in that?
Oh yeah.
He's
Yeah,
named,
Toho thought this film was a joke, an absolute joke, but they paid respect to it anyway.
they called him Zilla.
Zilla.
That's his name is Zilla.
And they make fun of they throw a jab at American audiences too for this movie. It's pretty good.
Well, he also is mentioned in one Godzilla movie. There's like it was a military briefing, and at the time, Godzilla, the Japanese one, was dead for like maybe 30 years, and they said just like, oh yeah, 1950s Godzilla attacked Japan, and then the late 90s another giant monster, and these two guys were like, wait, wasn't the giant monster in New York Godzilla? They're like, that's what the American experts claim, but our guys here have doubts, and I'm like,
Okay, so he wasn't featured in the actual movie then.
no, the Final Wars movie he was. This was a different movie that he was referenced.
Oh my gosh, I got to find this. Where in Final Wars was it, Jeremy?
I don't remember. It's like in the middle. It's not.
You could YouTube it easily. Just say,
second scene.
like, you could YouTube it easily, and
It's pretty good. I finished King of the Monsters reading it.
yeah, I remember. I saw your message.
Paper movies. I cared about. I will say this: it was a better story than Godzilla 2014. But Godzilla 2014 didn't have a story and had characters that were the equivalent of Ambium.
I told Rob D earlier that like he only saw part of the 2014 Godzilla, and I said, well, honestly, you could just watch the last 20 minutes and see the whole movie because that's like most of the Godzilla scenes. Like that's what you actually come to the movie to see.
Oh,
Like,
They just blow their budget on like we need to have one really cool Godzilla
Let's try
thing.
and outdo Independence Day. That's any Roland Emmerich movie post Independence Day. He is trying to outdo Independence Day. So much to the point when he did White House Down, they directly reference Independence Day in the dumbest way possible.
When did Independence Day come out in 90?
Yes, 96.
Okay. But still, that's one of my favorite movies. I love it. I love that movie.
I need to rewatch it. It's been years since I've seen it. Oh, but yeah, Final Wars, the Godzilla. Matt, I'm actually gonna text you that scene.
It's okay. I'm watching it now.
Oh, okay. It's like,
Oh, this is great.
It's
Final Wars is now my second favorite movie.
well, it's a mix of like several types. It's got a Godzilla film. It's got aliens. It's got like enhanced mutant like humans. Like
it's
X-Men type.
batshit insane.
And it's got kung fu or martial arts.
No, I need to see more of this. Hold on, that was just a clip. That was just a teaser there.
It was supposed to be the end of Godzilla, and then the 2014 one came out, and then they made what was that?
Shin
In
Godzilla.
Godzilla.
I own that too. That was that picture you sent us, Matthew. With like, what would you do if you saw this Godzilla coming? And he says, "Buy toilet paper." That was actually the Godzilla from Shin Godzilla.
I had a feeling it was because of the color palette. Wasn't it called Godzilla Resurgence when it got the American dub?
Yeah, and it was. It showed like Godzilla is like a little small lizard that's adapting to being on land, and he somehow is not crushed over his own weight on his own weight. And
I did not see Godzilla Resurgence. I remember it being a big deal and wanting to see it, but it took too long for it to get imported in the US and I lost interest.
no, it's actually you can probably rent it from like. It's actually not bad.
Probably easier to stream than King of the Monsters is. I have to get a freaking HBO account in order to stream King of the Monsters, and I don't even think it's worth it.
It's better than the 2014 Godzilla.
I mean, most things are better than the 2014, except for maybe Independence Day Resurgence.
That was bad. I did not enjoy that.
Bad.
But
Is there a behind the scenes like thing with this movie? Like I have the Blu-ray, but I haven't watched it in forever. Like I just wanted to have like little making of videos in it or anything.
I think they made a Ultimate Monster edition of this film on DVD, and I think they put like behind the scenes. And I was like, I was hoping it would be like a director's cut with like more scenes, but I don't think that's what we got.
I don't think we need more scenes, though. I think this film's as solid as a cut with the theatrical version.
Let's see. Yakface says, I think Will Smith was wise to pass on Independence Day 2, although I've only seen the original.
Yeah, he was, but he did Suicide Squad, which is arguably worse.
Yeah.
He did good, though, as Deadshot. I will say that.
I fundamentally disagree with that. He phoned that in. That was almost as bad as his performance in After Earth.
I mean, I thought he did pretty good, but that's just me.
I don't know. That whole movie is a nightmare.
You need to find me the timestamp of that Godzilla. It's just beautiful.
The Final Wars movie?
Yeah, I'm combing through it now, but I can't find him. But I found that YouTube clip, and I was thinking I could find it from the YouTube.
It was in 2004 was when it was made.
2000. Well, I have 2005, but yeah.
Oh.
I just want to know the timestamp of when he comes in, because that's all I want to see about this. Even though this movie has ships and kung fu and every single monster you could wish.
Okay, Godzilla's in the first like 5 minutes, and then he comes back at like the middle of the movie, and he's in it more from the end. It's just like Godzilla, other stuff, Godzilla all the way, basically to the end.
Matthew, how you doing?
Good. I just looking at these shots of the Twin Towers and stuff. It's crazy to just see those in the old movies.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's weird. Yeah.
I remember
all these helicopters coming in.
I remember a Spider-Man trailer that he foils a bank robbery.
Mm-hmm.
The bank robbers escape in a helicopter, and they fly in between the Twin Towers, and Godzilla or Spider-Man webs them. And
between the two.
Significantly better than that movie, although that movie is wonderful.
And Rob D says, you can tell it's a Sony movie with the amount of self-promotion.
Of course. That would have been perfect as a Sony mug.
Best commercial ever tie-in to a movie was the Taco Bell commercial, where the Chihuahua has the big, cardboard box with the taco underneath it and the stick holding it up. He has his teeth in the rope. He's going, here, lizard. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I bet I went out and bought a taco when I saw that.
I like this argument they're having about the coffee.
I wonder why they didn't make a Godzilla taco. I'm talking like this big taco you have to hold with two hands, and it comes with a green tortilla or something. I'd have gone after the Godzilla taco.
Okay, I gotta point this out because Geeks Addict brought it up. From Taco Bell, they had that Godzilla cup holder.
No, I don't remember that.
Well, I'll bring it up right here.
Oh, sweet!
Yeah,
Okay.
you hook it into like in the window of your car.
Yeah, you could leave it in the window of your car. And hey, Matt, guess how much that's going on eBay right now?
No.
$25. What's weird is I think I still have this. I'm just because it was at my parents' house before they moved, and I think it might be in a box somewhere. I'm gonna look now because I want to see if I have it.
I need to own this movie, this 1998 Godzilla. It's
Yeah,
just
you
that good. This is like, folks, this is what you get when Jurassic Park wears out its welcome earlier in the 90s. And they said, what can we get that's not Jurassic Park but looks just like Godzilla? Yes, great idea.
I was telling Matthew and Jeremy I bought the animated series that came out after this movie. I have the whole series.
Bruce, my best friend, he loves that cartoon series.
I need to get it. Didn't you say you only paid like $10 for it?
Yeah, it wasn't like $8 to $10.
There is the Play-Doh game that I have from the 1988 Godzilla, which is
Yeah, I saw that review. I owned that game at one point.
Beautiful. You get to be little tanks, cars, and you get this Godzilla smasher, and he smashes, and it leaves the little Godzilla prints on the board. Oh, beautiful! I got like 8 different types of Play-Doh for 50 cents each, so we could be 8 different players and just play that and just smash the entire. I just want to smash them all. The tank's the best one because it's the thickest. And when you smash it down, it really spreads it out. So I think everyone should be a tank. Forget about the van and the car, and the airplane sucks. It's just so little. But be the tank, man, and just have a tank battle. Smash people.
That's funny.
No, but I read somewhere that the reason why they called, actually, the reason it was that was going to lead to a spoiler, and some of our viewers haven't seen this movie, so. I'll save it for later.
You don't want to tell them about Godzilla dying.
Anyway.
Oh God. Have we talked about the Puff Daddy Jimmy Page?
Yeah, we were meant to talk about that earlier.
I listened to it today.
Video on like a monthly basis.
Well, now I just saw it when Adam texted me and Marco Polo this afternoon. I was like, I'm gonna listen to that video. Love it. I love that music, man. I'm listening to that more often.
Yeah. See, I remember
on Amazon Music for something. Puff Daddy didn't have the stuff on Amazon Music, so I have to just.
He doesn't have it on anything. You have to go on YouTube and look up a YouTube video.
Yeah. I still have the soundtrack. I remember whenever it came out, I had in my CD player. It was a real nice CD player, and you could like have the alarm. Like when the alarm goes off, you can have the music just come on, and it plays the CD. And the Godzilla soundtrack was always.
I had one of those in Duel of the Fates. No. What's the one in Episode 3? What's the Anakin Obi-Wan?
Battle of the
Heroes.
What's it called?
Battle of the Heroes.
Battle of the Heroes would play up in the morning.
Okay, I gotta say this scene right here where Matthew Broderick is watching Godzilla come out of the road. I love that. I love the splitting. Really cool. I love the splitting of the ground. And
the only thing that makes this movie better is that if Matthew Broderick, when he finds out Godzilla is coming to New York, he runs and gets Cameron to go help him from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. We kind of make this wild crossover. I swear to you, this would have broken box office records if this would have been the sequel. Ferris Bueller's Day Off 2. Godzilla.
They should Photoshop him standing right next to Matthew Broderick in the scene where they're staring at Godzilla, and then just show Matthew Broderick like this is the part where Cameron freaks out.
No, it shows him, Simone, and Cameron just looking at the destruction and getting closer to the destruction, the rubble, and then closer to their face, like when they're in that museum.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of echo that. Yeah. A lot of great things. Maybe he has a parade while Godzilla smashing that, and maybe he's in a building, and here comes Godzilla. And went, he looks at the camera, and goes, 5,000 buildings in New York, and I have to go to the one that Godzilla's about to smash. I mean, it'd be great. It'd be great. He's running away from from Godzilla, and he jumps over these 2 girls, sunbathing, and he comes right back. Hi, how's it going? There's a billion
Or-
scenes. Godzilla meets Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I'm telling you, this crossover, money. That's all I see is money. I see money falling from the sky.
Or Godzilla stepping on Cameron's dad's car. This is the
Yeah.
part where he
My
freaks
car!
out.
See,
Yeah.
isn't this the where we are in the point in the movie right now, Adam? Isn't there a famous line coming up?
Oh,
That
yeah, it's like
it shows up in so many movies now.
we need bigger guns.
Yeah,
Like the we need a bigger boat type of thing.
yeah.
Or what was it? And I was watching. I think it was Shark Exorcist. Like one of the worst
I've heard
things
of
I've ever
that.
seen. It was we need a bigger cross. It
Wow.
said
I
That
can't
sounds
tell
like
you how to spend your time, Jeremy, but I can tell you when you're wasting your time.
oh
And
yeah,
watching Shark Exorcist is a complete waste of time. If you
uh,
want to use your time better, do what Matthew does and just buy another copy of The Crystal Star. It'll make you feel better as a human being.
okay, they better cover Sting or Led Zeppelin. Wasn't it Led Zeppelin that he did it with in this movie?
yeah, yeah, with
Mhm.
Jimmy Page. They're
Yeah,
right.
Right. He did.
And
Best cover? Yeah, it's got to be with Jimmy Page.
How you tore the road and buildings up. What a mess. Okay, the army just attacked Godzilla. Okay, here comes the scene that I was. Man, that's
I
terrible.
recall Central Park in fall. That's great.
Oh,
Wear
that's-
your dress. What a mess. I confess. Yak Face, you crack me up, man. You crack me up. I love it.
okay.
I love
Here comes the infamous fire breath. Now, a lot of people argue that is not fire breath.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
just him just roaring at cars and then just blowing up. I'm like, no.
But you can see it come out of his mouth.
You can, yeah. I've seen it. Like,
This is like
Hey. Godzilla can breathe fire. It's better than a ball of energy. I like this. I like a fire-breathing Godzilla.
yeah, it's atomic breath.
This is how this is how Americans do Cinco de Mayo. Now, come on, guys, get used to it. This is American version of Godzilla. You like American version of Cinco de Mayo, so you'll love an American version of I'm surprised that the hero didn't wear a cowboy hat, smoke a big stogie.
Yeah.
It should have been Arnold. This
Should
should
have
have been
been
an Arnold movie.
Arnold was too busy doing Batman and Robin.
We're going to need a bigger gun. I can see him
Yeah.
saying that.
Yeah,
That'd be a
something
weird-
about it. Yeah,
His career was in the trash at that point.
that would be a funny crossover, like Arnold Schwarzenegger freezing Godzilla, and this is like, what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
Yeah, you can see some sort of tacky one-liner about a lizard.
Yeah, I'm going to look up Arnold's career here, see what he was doing at this time.
Leaping lizards.
I like this
Well,
line.
Arnold was doing like 17 movies at this time. This is the late 90s. He was just shooting.
He was
them.
he was the Rock of the '90s.
Oh man.
Yeah, he would have been making End of Days at this point.
I was going to say End of Days. I swear to you, I was going to say that was the next movie that came out around this time. And I watched End of Days, and it wasn't one as. It's funny how
it's really
these movies that we thought we'd never. It's not that good, but it was one of the first misses in his. When he was booming. That was one of the misses.
I think Kindergarten Cop is the first miss.
I love
Kindergarten
Cop.
But
yeah,
it's
of people
the beginning. It's the beginning of the end for both.
Jeremy, it's not a tumor.
I know, but it's the beginning of the end. Around the same time, it was the same thing with Stallone, where they both had like a bunch of movies that just started to go down. Because with the exception of what True Lies, you have Junior, Jingle All the Way, Erased.
Right.
Okay, I have a question. Real quick. I like Jingle All the Way. By the way, this city chase. Are they using miniatures?
Yeah, I think they are.
Because it looks pretty good.
This is in an era when they still did practical effects. the Peter Jackson, George Lucas effect hadn't taken the world by storm.
Adam, thanks for bringing Matthew onto this stream to keep everyone focused that we are watching a Godzilla movie. I appreciate it. That was great transition there, Matthew. I appreciate that. Hey guys, can you please shut up? I'm watching a movie.
Every time I hear something I disagree with, like the bad movie came out, like Jingle All the Way. I was like,
It's a bad movie.
I love
Junior.
it.
Awful.
Junior wasn't that good. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, Junior's just a sequel to Twins with not the same characters, and Arnold's pregnant. Like,
that was a weird movie.
It is bizarre, and it's not funny.
But putting Matthew Broderick in Godzilla is great.
It is. It's beautiful.
I thought he did pretty good. He was supposed to be in some sequels too. I read about them.
Well, this was supposed to be a trilogy, right?
Yeah, like the second one was supposed to be in like Australia.
That's why the that egg cracked at the end. That tease. Dang it!
I'm really looking forward to reading the novel to this one.
Yeah, I have it. I have it over there.
Have you read it yet?
No, but I do know it's got like pictures in it from the movie.
Yeah. I just wonder if it goes elaborates more on the ending or if it ends the same way.
Oh, Rob D said this from earlier. Matt, Ed Rooney would have to get crushed by Godzilla's foot.
So stupid.
Rob D's about 7 minutes behind.
I mean, we need to transition. Godzilla '98 could have been a lot of things.
I just got to say, you go right back to that. But when you said transition, they did like a fade transition right when you said the word. Continue. that was pretty cool. You're like transition. It goes. Continue. I'm sorry.
How did he eat all that fish? Good Lord.
You good?
Matthew's the kindest jerk I know. I'm going to let you talk. But first, we're watching a movie, Matt. So I just want to remind you again before you go off on your tangent.
It was like a triple thing with the transition talk, wasn't it? There.
No, it's fine. I'm the same way. I'm like, okay, back to my movie. Where's your popcorn, Matthew?
I don't have any.
I had a drink. That's about it.
What were you gonna say, Matt? I really do want to know. I thought that was pretty cool timing.
It should have. I was just gonna say this should have been the bastion of bringing back '80s characters. You know.
Here you go. Yak Face says the main villain from Kindergarten Cop, Richard Tyson, is from my hometown. His brother was our district attorney at the time.
Shut up. No way. Are you serious? That is awesome.
I know from Oklahoma, Brad Pitt is one of the more famous native Oklahomans.
Is he from Oklahoma? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And
He's from
country music.
Garth Brooks, yeah, is also.
Toby Keith.
I
think. I know he lives in Moore.
Yeah. I've only been to his restaurant out here once.
I haven't. I never went to that.
I heard a waitress got fired just for talking to him.
I guess the most famous singer
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Would it be Jerry Lee? We have Britney Spears.
I didn't know she was from.
Yeah, she's from some little town down south. But Britney Spears was Louisiana.
Rob D just made it to the part where the Chrysler building was destroyed or the Flatiron building, and yep, there's his fire breath.
Yep. Oh, we have Carrie Underwood too.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
It's funny because no one famous is from California.
I went to my roommate was in the same classes as Carrie Underwood.
Shaquille O'Neal. We have Shaq Daddy.
Oh, Matt, I have to ask: have you finished Static Shock?
No, I'm on I'm about to start season. I just finished season 3 today.
Okay. I kind of wonder, did you make it to the episode with Shaquille O'Neal?
Yes, I did. And Lil Romeo, who does the title song, which is really, I'll be honest, that's the best title song they have. Lil Romeo, I'd forgotten about him. If people don't know, he did a bunch of underground nerd music back in the late 90s or early 2000s, I think it was, because he did a Boba Fett rap. I don't know if it's on one of his albums, but I remember having it.
I have to.
My backpack got jets. I'm Boba.
Oh, MC Chris. Yeah. I saw him live.
Who? Lil Romeo?
Yeah. He opened for Ninja Sex Party.
Of course he did. Because why
Because
wouldn't
he did the Aqua Team Hunger Force song for like the movie, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, he opened and I was like, I know this guy from somewhere. It's like, oh yeah, I did the Aqua Team Hunger Force song. Yeah, he opened for Ninja Sex Party when I saw him in San Francisco.
He did the Static Shock theme for season 3, and it's really good.
I have to. Sorry, there was a line that Matthew Broderick did in this movie where someone asked him, "How close did you get to the monster?" And he was like, "I got pretty close." I remember in the theaters, everybody laughed at that.
Because Matthew Broderick's face, man, he can sell it. He sells the comedy. He brings it. You care about him. I cared about him. The man studies earthworms, right?
I was gonna say, I remember watching some of his early stuff, like in the late '80s, early '90s. I never would have thought he would have been. It's kind of like Hugh Jackman. I never thought that they were in musical theater, but they're like really talented, you know.
Yeah, when they remade The Producers and Matthew Broderick was in it.
Yeah, and what else? He was in The Music Man. I know that. But... Oh, I'm sorry.
I think that
is the very special episode where. Oh,
yeah, I've seen that. That's season 2.
Yes,
and I think at the end of it, the Static Shock flies up to the camera and he speaks to you kids.
Mm-hmm.
That you can be a superhero too. When someone shows you a gun, you know. The Soul Power was the season finale for 3, and it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking about just another guest star appearance we have in this Godzilla movie. See, Matthew Broderick needs help, so he goes to the house. Little Tango, that's funny. So he goes to this house to a scientist to help him deal with Godzilla. What scientist? Dr. Wayne Zelinsky. I mean, he created a shrinking machine. So now it's Rick Moranis and Matthew Broderick running around town trying to shoot him with the shrink machine. They do, but when they shrink him, he's basically their size, and now he's still dangerous. And so now you can get a guy jumping around in a suit, Godzilla suit, chasing him all through the place like aliens. And this movie totally takes another twist.
You know, the writer of that movie actually died a few months ago, Stuart Gordon. He also made, he directed Reanimator and From Beyond, 2 of my favorite body horror films. Both based off, very loosely based off of H.P. Lovecraft stories.
Did he write the sequel?
No, well, he was supposed to direct Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but the story goes he was in a room with all the studio executives at Disney, and he had a migraine and a bloody nose, and he gave up the rights because he couldn't work with those kind of people.
Oh.
He went off to do like independent things. Like that's just what he did. He actually started as doing some counterculture theater in like the 60s and 70s.
I love this eye scene where the soldier turns around and you see Godzilla's eye. Sorry.
Oh, I love it.
Oh yeah, that's a great scene. That's like basically the cover of every like Godzilla poster.
And I love that they reference that in Shrek with Donkey and the Dragon.
Oh yeah. I
don't remember that.
There wasn't a score released for this movie either.
There wasn't a what release?
Like a score, like the original motion picture soundtrack. I mean, it was like just the mixed soundtrack. It didn't have like a.
I wouldn't be surprised if La La Land had done like a 2-disc special edition CD set of the score. Like they've done everything.
Recent
What was I listening to today?
You know what, Matthew? I've never listened to. I don't remember the background music for Godzilla 1988, but I bet it's pretty awesome.
I'm
I didn't
looking.
remember that much either, but like just a second during that scene where they were walking down that sewage pipe or subway, whatever. I heard some music playing. It's like it was pretty good. There's some playing right now too.
Yeah, I'm trying to find who is the composer for it.
I don't know.
Uh,
I think there's two. I think there's two like classical pieces on the soundtrack. There's like the opener, and then one other.
Oh, David Arnold was the film composer.
I don't know who that is.
Maybe those two tracks on the soundtrack are the only pieces that they like kind of recycled through the whole movie.
That's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I know in The Lion King, which also has Matthew Broderick, they had Elton John write the songs, and Hans Zimmer wrote the score that wasn't like songs, you know?
Right.
Yeah, back before Hans Zimmer forgot that movie scores can have more than 2 notes.
Yes. Yes.
Was that about the Dark Knight? It's
about terrible Batman scores with his obsession with French horns. Like I was listening to this soundtrack right here, Black Rain, Ridley Scott's 80s buddy cop action film that he did in like 89 with Michael Douglas. And this whole thing is like this guitar like soundtrack, but it's Hans Zimmer playing guitar and synthesizer. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this
pretty cool.
Good score. And then like I listened to like the worst is Dark Knight Rises with the like chanting, idiotic chanting throughout.
Oh yeah, we watched. Me and my wife watched that movie recently.
I'm sorry. How many days did it take you to watch it?
No, we watched it right then and there. I mean, it's not the best of the trilogy, but I just was like, okay, I was honestly like going back over, it's just like, okay, this movie is actually pretty decent. I mean, but it's just, there's some weird plot holes, but
I'm of the opinion that he was that Christopher Nolan who directed that.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a special club with M. Night Shyamalan as we made our greatest movie first, and everything else is terrible. Although M. Night Shyamalan does have 2 other films that are pretty decent. They just have to be the second and third films he ever made.
I'm seeing so many actors in this movie that I've seen in other movies. I just can't.
Yeah, like I think this guy right here, this general dude, is like a military guy in everything.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the only role he ever seeks. Is like, do you have like a general position? An officer? I just need to be an officer.
American officer, specifically.
Yeah, yeah. But there's so many other people that I've never seen again. Like the blonde, the main actress, the blonde one.
Okay. Audrey, yeah.
I'm going to do an IMDb search so I can be useful.
Yeah, that's what we need to do with these things. Have somebody that's like the IMDb person.
Why I have the app. Although, ladies
music
and gentlemen, can I announce this on here that my special announcement about IMDb and me?
Oh yeah, go for it.
I am now on IMDb for Bloodlust.
That's awesome.
Which is pretty nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And like you can find a link to my OnlyFans there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Yakface said, so Gene Reno wears a white undershirt and suspenders in Godzilla and the Professional. That must have been his thing. Oh.
They made the original score soundtrack.
What?
Nice.
Where?
Only that much on eBay.
How much does that say?
Oh my god!
40.
Welcome to my life of collecting CD soundtracks, people.
See, that's what when there's one that I want now, like I get it, but I mean, I can't really find good ones these days that are just like blow my mind. Like The Hobbit, those weren't that great. They were good, but they weren't.
They were. I called it the Lord of the Rings leftovers.
Exactly.
You got a handful of decent tracks in there that should have made it into Lord of the Rings, but there wasn't a place for them.
Matthew, you can listen to the soundtrack on YouTube, which I'm going to start doing starting tomorrow.
Well, I have all of the Lord of the Rings soundtracks and the extended edition soundtracks, which thankfully they finally released those like digitally. For the longest time, they only had Return of the King digitally, like through iTunes Store.
Oh yeah, iTunes got rid of them. They lost the rights to them, is what it was.
Okay,
Because it's been on Google Play Music this whole time.
because like I bought the Fellowship of the Ring, and it was like $60, but the Twin Towers couldn't find that under. I think it was like $200, maybe $600. It was like an outrageous price, and years later they finally released it on the iTunes again, and that made me happy. So I bought it immediately.
This may be so. I'm looking at Maria Patilo's filmography. This may be the only lead she's ever had that was like well known. She has all these like supporting roles in like films like Natural Born Killers and True Romance, but like no leads. I mean, she was on Friends, but everyone was on Friends.
Brad Pitt was on Friends, yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme was on Friends as himself.
Well, I mean, I
Actually,
thought she did a pretty good job in the movie.
Jack Face's last comment, this is a professional prequel. I'm almost convinced. I think it's a secret prequel. Because after facing Godzilla, you're not afraid of anything. And so in The Professional...
Gosh, is that our next watch along? Leon the Professional.
You know, I just saw that for the first time a few weeks ago.
I haven't seen it yet. I still haven't seen it.
I saw it a couple years ago. It's pretty good. Natalie Portman actually acts in it, which is a miracle.
It doesn't age well, but it's a good film.
Oh gosh, anything '90s didn't age well.
Well, this one just had a part that in the '90s would be sweet, but today's life, you're like,
Yeah, a little problematic.
a little problematic.
Yeah,
They did one joke as a joke, but you don't laugh in theaters these days at it. But I bet it was a really funny joke back in the '90s.
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Natalie Portman, yeah.
Well, I just watched a review from Red Letter Media about Cabin Fever?
Yeah.
And a lot of the jokes that were said in that movie, like I remember people saying all that stuff in the '90s. Yeah, you can't say it today.
Yeah, there's a lot of homophobic slurs. And
Well, I remember Cabin Fever. I did enjoy when I read. I was like, wow, it was extremely grotesque. But I was like, you got the humor in it. And so I was like, okay, they're poking fun at each other and they're going overboard with it.
Yeah, and then you see Hostel, and you just understand that Eli Roth is just a psychopath.
That's actually a good point, Rob D. Bruce Willis was also on Friends, so who played John McClane when they watched Die Hard?
It's always funny when you get those movies. Go ahead.
It's that bizarro world from Last Action Hero where Sylvester Stallone was the Terminator.
That'd be weird. But yeah, I always wondered those movies where the actor is talking about seeing a movie in the world that they're in, and it's like that's really weird to think about.
It's super meta.
Yeah,
they do that in that show Last Man Standing with Tim Allen. They are always just like, man, Tim Allen always makes a joke like, man, I don't want to watch Toy Story 4, or man, I hate the movie Santa Claus, or something like that. It's just like, we get it, you were in those movies.
Does he joke about Santa Claus 3, or does he pretend like that never happened?
I don't remember. I just
recently. No, I didn't just recently see. That wasn't my new Christmas movie. I try to watch a Christmas movie I've never seen before.
That's a good idea.
Every year, and a few years ago it was the Santa Claus trilogy. Oof. That was a few years ago. But then this past year it was. I can't remember the name of it, but it's Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito. And I know what you're I missed that one, I guess, when it came out. I can't remember what it's called, but they're trying to have Matthew Broderick is Mr. Christmas in his town. But Danny DeVito comes and he wants to be Mr. Christmas and have so much Christmas lights and everything and be seen from space. It's a fun little movie.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Deck the Halls.
Deck the Halls. I'd never seen it. I was like, oh, I missed it. Well, I need to watch this. So that was my new Christmas movie of the year a few years ago, and I watched it again this year. It's fantastic. As a family man.
I haven't seen that one.
I'm being serious. Next Christmas, watch that with the missus. It's unbelievably good.
I'll make a note. I want to make a reminder.
Nicolas Cage is in it, and it's still good. It's probably one of his best films.
Actually, one of my other favorites. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Has anyone seen Family Man?
No, I've never heard of it.
It's a Christmas movie, and it's just brilliant. I'm being there's a great scene at the end that I love.
I think I've seen it.
I'm making a reminder to remind me on December 1st to watch it.
Yes, I'll remind you. I really I watched it for the first time last year because my brother's like, "You gotta see that." I was like, "Dude, that's Nicolas Cage. I want to see Nicolas Cage in Christmas movie." Heartfelt is like, "No, you'll love it." And I watched it, like, that's really good. So I watched it again this past year.
Well, I think I remember I was talking to my wife about it, and actually one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time has Danny DeVito in it. It's called Batman Returns.
You yourself? I'm kidding.
I think you all know my disdain for Christmas. I am not a fan of that holiday. When you work in retail, you just start you hate. You hate it a lot. So I watch a lot of like anti-Christmas movies. Like not A Christmas Story, because that's one of the most overrated films ever.
Never seen it.
It has a handful of funny moments, but overall it's just like this is just what you're watching. Like I'm like very indifferent to it. But I enjoy watching Silent Night, Deadly Night and Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 with the infamous garbage day scene. I think that's one of the funniest things ever put to film.
Matthew, I've still never seen Christmas. I've never seen Christmas Story either.
I have it on DVD, and it's still wrapped in the package.
I'm just never going to watch it. I don't think. I rewatched for the first time in a long time. It was 2 years ago, I think, or maybe it was this past year. Was It's a Wonderful Life?
Oh, I've seen that like 2 years ago.
I've never seen that.
And that movie still holds up. That's a fun movie. It's short, but
see, I've always stick to the same couple that I was like Home Alone, not Home Alone. Yeah, Home Alone. Christmas Vacation is my absolute favorite.
It's fantastic.
That's one of my top. It's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Like Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation is good.
I'm sorry, I just got to point out, just like, come join the watch along of Godzilla. We'll talk about Christmas.
We're talking Christmas movies. Yeah, this is the Christmas segment. But yeah, I have that Christmas Story, and I think they do the marathons every year, like 24 hours, and like I've always avoided it. And it's like I might have seen the whole movie, like in just little segments each year. When it's someone's like go to my parents' house and it's on in the background or something, but I've never seen it start to finish ever.
I mean, my handful of Christmas like specials I like I like A Charlie Brown Christmas a lot. And I've always liked that since I was a very small child. And I love Muppet Family Christmas. It only took me 10 years to realize that Jim Henson has a cameo at the end. I'm like, who is that dude washing dishes with the Muppet?
The Muppet Christmas Carol. I like that one.
That's also a fun one.
Do you know, I just recently, that was 2 years ago, rewatched that one, and I'm watching that. No, that was this past year. I love Muppet Christmas Carol. I think Muppet Christmas Carol is honestly one of the best soundtracks.
Oh yeah, it was good.
That music is the bomb. And to be honest, as Christmas movies go, I would put Christmas Vacation in there, and I would put Muppet Christmas Carol in my top 5 for sure, without a doubt.
Just last year, me and the boys, we watched. It was on Netflix, surprisingly, because seems like Netflix usually tends to take off the Christmas movies when Christmas is here. Same with horror movies; they're like, get rid of all the horror movies on Halloween. But me and the boys, we sit down and watch it on Christmas Day.
Real quick, Rob D asks, he's eating KFC biscuits. Does anybody else find them terrible? I actually
Yeah.
have not had KFC in years. So
I don't.
Places.
Are you eating because you're bored? Why would you eat KFC biscuits?
Is that all you have? I will. You come here and I will cook you dinner.
Hey, to mix it up a little bit, add some honey. That might help. But
Bone Jangle has great biscuits. I don't think they are nationwide enough.
they're not. We don't have them in Oklahoma.
No.
Good thing.
Yak Face, if you have Bojangles, are you in the South? Because I know Bojangles.
I've been to one before.
It's in Alabama. It's in Florida.
They
But I
have
don't
them.
know
They're
places. But I know I went to Bojangles. No, not Bojangles. I have been to Bojangles. The other one I'm thinking about is Foo Shackley's or whatever. Never mind. I've been to a Bojangles. That's not Southern, but Foo Shackley's is Southern, and they're all over Florida. Foo Shackley's, I know. And I went to a Foo Shackley's. I was like, "Ooh, Foo Shackley's." You know, Foo Shackley's chicken or whatever, and it's not good.
I gotta bring it.
I can't remember where it is, Yak Face.
I gotta bring us back to Godzilla for me because I was just gonna comment. I love the third act of this movie, like where they're all like,
Oh, when it turns into Lost World and all the. Have we gotten there yet?
Yeah, we're going back into the underground. And okay, I have a question. Have you guys been to Universal Studios?
Yeah.
The California one. Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid going, and there was like this King Kong ride.
oh yeah.
For the tour.
Is this like? Are they filming in that spot? Because this stuff to me always looks so familiar, like I've been there. Because there's like a red subway underground. Like lights are flashing. You got all the concrete everywhere.
It very well could be.
Of course, I could be remembering that stuff wrong from when I was a kid.
Universal.
You say it wasn't
Universal.
Yeah, TriStar. Never mind.
And I don't think TriStar Universal owned TriStar at that time.
Okay.
I remember. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jeremy.
I'm looking it up.
And it might not have been Universal Studios. Well, it had to have been Universal Studios when I went.
I'm eating them because they come with every meal, and butter at least makes them a little better.
I
You
guess
know
so.
what else makes them better? You just pour whiskey on them.
Whiskey biscuits. It sounds like a restaurant or something. Welcome to Whiskey Biscuits.
So this comes from, we had a party. I don't know if I was friends with you yet, Matt, when I did this.
You were
Actually,
eating whiskey biscuits?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, it was before I went to Monroe, but it was that summer.
Okay.
I had a party at my house, and Dylan from the Backpedalers podcast is like, "What's this tequila? Oh, this would make a great condiment." He poured it all over his hot dog and ate it, and he's like, "Wow, that's terrible!" And he did it with another one, and then another one.
I do have to point out one thing. Like everybody is like so like holding it together very well when Godzilla gets within like 100 feet of them.
Oh yeah.
No, this is a
kind
Sony
of-
picture.
Kind of reminiscent of like Dragon Slayer too, like when they're when Galen's in the cave and the dragon's looking for him. And you got Godzilla going through the cave there. Kind of looks similar.
Except for Dragon Slayer looked better.
It did. It was that stop motion.
Dragon Slayer looks great until the dragon flies.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is a movie from 1983.
Yeah. 81.
81. Yeah, my bad.
That's okay, Jeremy. We forgive you.
Yeah.
Matthew, do you watch Christmas Vacation every year?
I do.
That's what
I
you
do.
do.
Yeah. My wife hates the movie.
How long have you been watching it every year?
Oh man, since probably junior high.
Okay.
So,
I have been watching Jim Carrey's The Grinch for the past 19 years, ever since it came
Really?
out.
I hated that movie.
It's a
watched it.
hilarious movie. After 10 years of watching it, I decided in 2011 I wasn't going to watch anymore. And my sister found out, and she went, "Hey, I heard you haven't watched The Grinch yet." I went, "Yeah, I'm just not going to watch it this year because no one wants to watch it with me, and I'm done watching. I don't need to watch it. I've watched it for the past 10 years. I'm good." She went, "You got to keep that tradition going." And so she would come over and watch it with me for a few years, and then she left. She stopped watching it with me. I was like, well, now it's been 13 years. I got to keep going, right?
Yeah.
And so I still watch The Grinch, and I still find it funny. I think it's great, but I do make that one of my first ones so I can watch something new, because I do want to. I can every other year I can watch a Christmas movie.
See this shot right here. I thought they did. That's a good shot with Godzilla. The CGI looks pretty good. He's like creeping through the town at night. They get the flashlights on him. That everybody's pointing their guns at him. That's a pretty good shot. Holds up pretty good.
Front door. Yak Face, you live in Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that.
He had Foo Shackleys tonight. He had Foo Shackleys. Yeah. Okay, Yak Face. My grandmother lives in Daphne, Alabama. I go to Mobile at least twice a year, 2 or 3 times a year. That's funny. So so Bojangles is in. I thought it was. I just didn't want to say that because I remember Foo Shack. I said maybe I remember Foo Shackleys. No, I have been to Bojangles, and it was in Gulf Shores. I think there's one in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Can't remember, but somewhere along, or maybe in Foley. But I've been, I go all through there. And by the way, we've stormed through the flea markets through Mobile. Mobile has actually the second best flea market in the nation.
Before I forget, Matthew, that's for not liking the Grinch. Anyway.
How long did you watch The Grinch? How long has it been since you watched The Grinch, Matthew?
How long is this? I think we had it on last year.
Yeah, it's same with me.
I'll put it for the kids to watch stuff.
There's Carla.
There were a couple things that were funny. Like he's in the cave and he's like, "You're an idiot," and this echoes like, "You're an idiot."
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
I like when they play it on.
I'm an idiot. You're an idiot. Sorry.
When they play it on like cable every year, they actually show extended scenes and deleted scenes throughout the movie.
That's cool.
I like how Godzilla got a little. What's up?
Matt's the heat miser now.
This is why I need a haircut here.
Me too. I haven't had a haircut.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't had hair. So
we gotta go for my whole. I'm Toby Maguire.
I was about to say we got
your little Nicky.
That's a good movie.
I love this scene though in Godzilla where he's.
Wait, you like Little Nicky and you don't like Godzilla? I mean, you don't like Grinch?
Yeah.
How can you like Little Nicky?
No.
That movie's awful.
It is awful.
I love that scene where he just jumps into the river. Like
I don't know, Matt. I unapologetically love Freddy Got Fingered. Like unapologetically.
I remember playing with hamburger fingers, or no, hot dog fingers. That's it. And the moose.
Okay, yeah. You don't remember the Wake the Baby Up scene with the birthing scenes? Is the best part.
I don't remember that movie. Come on, get out of here. What's the movie that you love that you're embarrassed about? I'll ask that question.
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, geez. It's a guilty pleasure movie, but Jaws: The Revenge. It's horrible, but I'm just like, I love it because it's horrible.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, it could be
that forgets what movies like.
To be honest, a lot of people hate this movie, and I love Godzilla 19. I'm not even playing. I'm not even making a joke here. I love Godzilla.
I guess the same with Independence Day. Like Jeremy hates Independence Day.
I hate almost everything, with the exception of Godzilla. I hate every single thing Roland Emmerich's made.
You talk to a big Godzilla fan, and they will tell you this is one of their least favorite Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
It's not Godzilla. But to me, and I love Godzilla. I grew up watching all the old Godzilla movies on TBS, and this is my favorite one. I absolutely love it. So that would probably be the one that most people would shame on. I'm like, I actually like it. I'll tell you another one. John Carter, much better. John Carter of Mars.
That's a fine movie.
That would be fun. It is a fun movie.
Rob D. Now we're talking about Little Nicky.
Yeah, with Popeye's chicken. Yeah.
That's also bad.
Chicken is
Hey.
the shit, isn't it?
Raising Cane's came from Louisiana. I hate Raising Cane's.
You
the
do?
best chicken. I hate
Oh
it.
man, I love it.
Matt
It
had
came
lunch
from-
there the other day.
Yeah.
I grew up when I was in college. They were in Baton Rouge or whatever down there, and we'd always go. And I thought the chicken tastes terrible, but the sauce is good, and the sauce is still good, but the chicken's still terrible. I went and tried it a few years ago when they came up to years ago when they exploded everywhere. We got some. I was like, nope, still not good. I haven't eaten it.
Do you have a Brahms, Matt?
A
Brahms?
No,
No.
no, but that's the ice cream place, right?
Yeah, it's like a ice cream dairy. They do burgers and
Oh man,
Dallas has one. I went and ate at Dallas, but
that factory, the Brahms factory farm, is here in Oklahoma.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, they've got like an hour or two from where we are.
No, the best chicken is in the Arkansas. Well, we have one here too, but it's in Arkansas, Texas. It may be in Oklahoma. It's called Chicken Express.
Oh, we have that.
I love them.
What is it?
We had Chicken Express today.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I never go. There's only one that I know of in like the ghetto.
I bit into the chicken. It's so juicy, it just spurted out everywhere. It's juicy. I mean, I've never heard the phrase juicy chicken, and they actually mean it. It is juicy chicken. It's fresh. I mean, my wife has to sit and let it cool for a while because they always cook fresh.
Still screaming, you know.
Madison Square Garden now.
When I bite into
Madison Square Garden, yeah, we just saw Godzilla get hit by the military, and I was gonna say I like that little reference to Jaws where he's sinking to the bottom and we hear that dinosaur roar like in the original Jaws film.
Actually, Jeremy, if you sit and let your Chicken Express cool a little bit, it will birth another chicken during that time.
It's a second course.
Another egg. It just a little egg plops out from the.
Yeah,
I was about to say. And speaking of eggs, here comes.
And they're so delicious. It's like a Cadbury egg.
Coming Lost World.
Good.
It's the raptor scene.
The Godzilla raptors, yeah.
The only good.
This is the mini Godzilla. What raptors? These are mini Godzillas.
Oh, I showed my kids Jurassic Park 1 and 2 last week. They loved it.
Do you know what? I'll even go to bat for 3.
I won't.
I didn't.
I had a Jurassic Park 3 themed birthday party. I will still not.
Ready? Jurassic Park 3 is better than any Jurassic World movie.
Oh, that's true.
I only saw Jurassic Park 3, I think, one time.
It's worth a second watch.
Okay. I mean, I have it. I have like the 3 movie DVD.
The cell phone scene with the Spinosaurus, that was just, oh my gosh.
The pterodactyl scene is good. I mean, there's some good scenes.
The set pieces they couldn't put in the original movie are fine. It's the story to try to weave those together is very mediocre, and you can tell Michael Crichton had nothing to do with it.
I was about to say pterodactyl novel.
Remember what they did? They took pieces out from the first 2 novels and together a storyline for 3.
But he didn't have the overarching storyline because he refused to write that 3rd novel for them.
Right. So what Spielberg did is he gave Joe Johnston the stuff that he didn't use for his 2 movies that were in the book. They thought, and they came together and put a good movie in. The Spinosaurus that's chasing them, that was the book, but it was the T-Rex that's chasing them.
I remember these set pieces from the novels.
Yeah, and I didn't. When I reread the book, I watched Jurassic Park 3 again. And I was like, "Shut up! These are scenes from the." And then later on I did my research on it and found out they were. But I said these are scenes from the other 2 books. That's, the storyline's kind of crap. But the thing is, though, they had to have one coherent storyline around all these awesome scenes.
Speaking of books, Matt, I told the other 2 this, but I got 3 new novelizations in one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's like $18 to $30 online, and I ordered it from my local bookstore over here, and I got it like shipped from Texas, and it's all going to be like $12. So
awesome. That's a good deal.
See, when you said Jurassic, we're talking about Jurassic Park. It was funny because they're in Madison Square Garden, and one of the guys goes and he clips the chain link fence to get to the circuit board room, and he flips the power on.
Yeah. all the oh yeah.
It's like now we're talking about Jurassic Park. It's
And
like
then
all
that
this Jurassic Park
And then
reference.
that message pops up. He goes,
Magic
No
word.
one remembers everything. John, we got John.
I wish someone would have said, "Hold on to your butts."
Oh yeah.
That'd
Can
been
we
great.
just say that Jurassic Park, if it were made today with the amount of graphic violence that's in it, it would get an R rating.
You think
Yeah.
so?
Okay,
Yeah,
I gotta bring this.
they would if they kept it PG-13. You wouldn't see Samuel Jackson's arm, the blood.
Oh yeah.
Matt and Jeremy, I gotta tell you guys this. I already told Matthew, but earlier in the movie where they're driving on that island and they see Godzilla's footprints. My wife recently went to Hawaii and she was on the set of Jurassic Park and this Godzilla film, and she saw Godzilla's footprint.
Shut up.
No, and she showed me some of the scenes where they filmed Jurassic Park, and I was like, I remember that scene. That's where those that flock of dinosaurs almost tramples over Alan Grant, and the T-Rex comes out and eats one.
Yeah, the herd.
Yeah, and then she showed me Godzilla's footprint. I was just like, oh, I wish I was there.
Yak Face, The Devil's Advocate. I remember liking that movie. I've only seen it once when it came out. I have not watched it since, but I remember liking it. I remember being freaked out at one point, and I can't remember which point it was. It just freaked me out. It
Oh,
was creepy.
I have a movie that I can admit to enjoying that's awful. Eight Crazy Nights, the Adam Sandler Hanukkah comedy.
You know, I've never seen that one. Maybe I should add that one to my Christmas.
It's got some heartwarming things mixed with disgusting Adam Sandler humor at the beginning of the end of his career. But it's animated like a Disney movie would be animated. Like today, no one would ever spend the budget to make it look as good as that.
I gotta say though, the effects and animatronics for these baby Godzillas is pretty great.
Yeah, it's like the only time they did practical like Godzilla effect.
You know, it's better looking than Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Some of it looks like there's a CGI shot, but some of the stuff's really good. Like, you know, those T-Rex costumes people are wearing? Forget that. I want one of the baby Godzilla costumes.
I used to have a Godzilla, like they had like it was a giant inflatable balloon that you could like a punching bag Godzilla type
I
thing.
have one of those too.
Yeah. I got that for like Easter one year after this movie came out.
I think I also got mine for Easter too. That's bizarre.
That's really weird. We have Christopher Nelson joining us. Hey, Christopher Nelson.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, guys.
Oh, no. Matt, show him your necklace.
Oh yeah, actually. Dun 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 dun.
You missed the talk about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. I've been very good.
He said, "Oh crap!" Tonight's Matt's screening in his watcher.
Oh, hey, Chris, since you're here, I haven't made it to the post office yet, but I'm so sorry, but I will be soon.
Is this like some terrorist talk?
No, I'm gonna send him something. There's a necklace thing that I want to get from Dragon Slayer, the amulet.
Key to his chastity belt.
Matt, have you seen Dragon Slayer?
I cannot remember. Probably not. I don't remember.
You really need to watch it.
Maybe I have. I can't remember.
But it's like that classic, like just hero's journey type thing. Very simple plot, but there's this amulet that one of the guys wears around his neck that's really cool. I'd love to have that. Can't find it anywhere. I mean, people can custom make it, but it's pretty outrageous in price.
Etsy exists for a reason, Matthew.
Huh?
Etsy exists for a reason.
Yeah. That's where I found it really expensive.
That's how I'm gonna get my Kip Duran lightsaber. I found someone who makes them on Etsy.
It's pretty cool.
Not Kip Duran, Corin Horn, but I'm gonna talk him into doing Kip Duran.
That's a good question. Like, what movie prop would you want as a collectible? Like, Matt,
We talked about this before.
oh, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
With the
What you
four,
pick?
What did I pick? I can't remember.
Oh, the Never-Ending Storybook, obviously.
mine would be the Queen Alien puppet in
Uh,
the bathroom.
Jeez, I don't know.
Have to go with the proton pack.
Proton pack.
Oh, you
Okay.
would.
Oh man, I cannot remember. Trying to see if maybe like a legit Batarang or something.
I'll tell you what I like from a video game. I'd want the Riddlers from Arkham Asylum, the Riddlers little trophy. I think those are so daggum cool.
Yeah,
I
when
think they actually made that as like an Arkham City like deluxe edition. Pay $200 for a statue.
It's too bad. I wouldn't pay but $20 for it. But
Oh yeah, those things are way overpriced.
I don't have it anymore, but I used to have a Riddler cane with my costume. Let's see.
Can you get Rob D's newest comment? I want to get Matthew's expression.
He has a special 3-hour cut of Ghostbusters 26. What a waste of time.
Actually,
Just all the improv scenes, they just didn't edit them out.
It's horrible.
Rob D, do you know what the most embarrassing thing is? That cut's going to be just as good as the Zack Snyder cut.
Okay, let's have some talk about this right now, because I genuinely don't understand why people worship Zack Snyder when literally he's the same as Michael Bay, and people don't accept Michael Bay. Like, why? Ryan Kinnell, you need to answer this question. I'm calling you out directly for your unapologetic love.
He is so happy.
I know he is.
And I'm like, dude, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck even worse than the actual movie, maybe.
I just mentioned earlier that I'm just gonna keep my thoughts to myself until it comes out. So
what if it's like, okay, he just did little cuts and inserted a new scene of like him dressed as the characters doing things.
Or a puppet show or something.
Right. Yeah.
I would love it then.
Or like the special cut is like from Spaceballs where Lord Hellman is like playing with dolls.
Yeah. Yeah. He's just playing with the DC action figures in front of a green screen.
No, I can't wait, because two things are going to happen. Either they're going to be very disappointed, or they're going to pretend that they really loved it when it's really garbage, and they're just going to try to defend it to the. There's no way that's going to be good.
It's going to be the latter, and you know it, Matt.
They're going to be like, this isn't a Snyder cut. They're holding back still.
Get Chris' comment.
But I was gonna say real quick, Matthew.
Yep.
I found a documentary on my. I can't remember what like streaming service it's on, but it's for the Roku. It's about fans of Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah.
It's called Ghost Heads, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. I haven't watched it, but yeah, I've heard about it.
I saw that.
Did Adam know it's actually the fans of Ghostbusters 2016, all 5 of them?
Ew.
Oh, it is?
I don't know.
Oh, so it's just like.
I'm actually in a couple of Ghostbuster groups on the Facebook, and there's people that like that movie.
Oh yeah, my mom's one of them.
And this like the comic books. I know there's a bunch of comic books out there for Ghostbusters. For some reason, I've never been drawn to them, but I know that they've crossed them over now with 2016 Ghostbusters and then old stuff. And
well, they crossed them over with X-Files, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It's like a consistent, like they are part of the group.
Why is it just easier to get comic books? Because it seems like I would like
IDW
more novels. Oh, go ahead.
IDW owns just about every movie property at this point, unless it's Lucasfilm or I think RoboCop.
Well, yeah, that's their gimmick. But why isn't there someone picking up the rights to write some of this? I mean, you think because the Ghostbusters could have potentially had extra adventures, not many.
Yeah. It's called The Real Ghostbusters.
But if you, Well, yeah.
Real,
But you
real
could say,
quick.
hey, during the first movie, here's a few ghosts they had to go down that you'll get. And some of them are harder to catch than others. Or maybe there's a story where, between 1 and 2, where the ghosts are still kind of around, but not as big.
Like after the big explosion, like let's see them go get all those ghosts that were released.
That's why the last Ghostbusters game that they just remastered was so good. 'Cause it's just Ghostbusters 3 pretty much.
Yeah.
We're at the elevator scene in Godzilla. That's so funny.
Just wrong floor.
But when he's like tapping that button to get the elevator, that I still get stressed out.
What are things that you do from movies that, like, for instance, like every time I'm around a piano, I'll go ahead and read the comment.
I think Harold should appear in the next film.
Maybe should appear in the next film as an actual ghost.
I'm sorry, Matt. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I think he's definitely going to be a reference somewhere. But what is something that you do, like from a movie? Like every time I'm around a piano, I like double tap on the high keys. It drives my wife crazy, which is funny because it's like what Peter says in the film. He just like plays those high notes. He's like, they hate this. I like to torture them. So I do it every single time I'm around a piano or a keyboard.
No way.
Every single time.
The only time I ever did something like that was me and my brother were walking out the door at a party at my house, and someone said, "What happens if so and so comes by, asking for you?" And I turned to them. I said, "Lock the door." And no, my brother said, "Lock the door." And then I said, "And hope they don't have blasters." And then we looked at each other and went, "Ah!" And I was like, "What?" We walked out the door.
Okay. From the prequels that sometimes Jedi like do the Force to open like doors.
Right.
I did that so much as a kid that I still do it when I go to Walmart to the electronic doors. I'm just like, and they open.
Yeah, I still do that sometimes. Like going to Walmart,
Those electric doors won't open for me though. Usually, I've even smashed into one. I don't know if I'm walking at it up too quick for it to catch me.
Maybe
But a lot of time, it takes a while it'll open up for everyone else. But I guess I just walk faster, and it just says, "Oh, perhaps someone's coming! Hurry, get the doors open!" It's like right up to my face here. By the time it's open, I'm like, "What is going on here?"
The sensor's like, "Oh crap, it's Matt."
I wonder if you can run and take an automatic close and trigger it before it goes off.
I mean, with my ex, she used to say "I love you," and I would just say "I know," and she didn't get it for like 4 months of our relationship.
What a jerk!
Hey, there's an Independence Day toy on top of the monitor there.
Wait, what? Oh my gosh, it is.
On the computer, they have an Independence Day action figure.
It's kind of like when Disney has to put like characters or Easter eggs in their other films, like in Monsters Inc., where they have like a Jessie toy and a Nemo toy.
Well, I mean, the Nemo toy was just to show that they were working on something else that was after.
Oh.
Finding Nemo was the follow-up to Monsters Inc.
And there's this. You remember you guys like in the 90s, like wearing hats like backwards like this?
Yeah.
What do you mean back in the 90s?
So what? What'd you say?
You've been at too many conventions, Matt.
I'm telling you, it's the 9-10. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look
Okay,
at
hold on.
down there.
Yeah, we got a. There we go.
We got to do the full like early 2000s to late when you just put the hat like that.
Matthew, when you regrow your beard, it only takes 2 days. But did your wife realize you've grown it back?
Yeah, there's a comment.
Yes. It's like her arch nemesis because she doesn't like it, right?
Right. I got a comment on it today. Are you gonna shave your face? No.
My favorite Pixar Easter egg is the Pizza Planet truck. Yeah. Kind of one.
My favorite.
What's your favorite Easter egg?
Easter egg. Ugh.
In a movie?
I probably the Outrider and the special editions and
that's a nice one.
My favorite, I have 2, and they're both from Indiana Jones that I both find funny. I think the number one is in Last Crusade when they're in the sewer and Elsa Schneider's like, "What's that?" And he's like, "The Ark of the..." And she's like, "How do you know?" He's like, "Trust me." Or in Temple of Doom, when the two sword guys come up and he tries to go for the gun and he's lost the gun like earlier in the film.
I was gonna say real quick, I always liked that monologue, Matthew Broderick's monologue in the scene where he's on the news broadcasting about the baby Godzillas. I like the music that goes with it. I always thought it was a good scene.
He looks at the camera and goes, "What are you still doing here? The movie's over." Oh. I wish he would have done that after the credits. It'd have been great. Come out in his bathrobe, you know. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around for a moment, you might miss it.
What is this? What I'm trying to think of, like a movie where the soundtrack was designed to sell the soundtrack rather than the movie, like Top Gun, for instance. That soundtrack, I think more people listen to that.
Back in the 90s, everyone had their booming soundtrack with all the stars on it, and that you tried to sell. That was just part of the merchandise. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I mean, there's a ton of people who bought the soundtrack.
Oh yeah, no, my mom was like one of them. But like, I'm trying to think of when that ended. I want to say like early to mid 2000s, because remember, Mission Impossible 2 was that way, where Limp Bizkit did the
Quality Autism. Thanks for joining us.
That was 2002. And yes, it was probably mid 2000s when they stopped.
Because Punisher, or the Thomas Jane one, has a soundtrack like that.
Oh gosh,
I like
horrible music, and then that one country song that assassin plays before he like goes after the Punisher, which is the only good track on that album.
I used to know how to play that.
But Matt, I found the original score for that movie on CD.
Really?
I bought it. And I re-listened to it. That is the best Marvel movie score.
The Punisher?
The Thomas Jane one.
Huh.
That is the best, because Marvel's like having the most mediocre scores of all time.
Right.
Especially the Avengers. Like I couldn't tell you a freaking thing about what those.
I had to play that at a wedding as we were introducing the bride and groom.
The Avengers?
Avengers?
The entire wedding party came in to the Avengers.
Well, I was going to say on that note, there's a aquarium out here in Oklahoma that me and my wife originally wanted to have our wedding at. And there's like this big sphere where you could walk through and there's sharks all around you. And I wanted to have the wedding in that sphere. And when you play the bridal march, I was gonna at the last minute hand the DJ a rigged version where it goes bum bum ba-dum, and then it goes bum 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 bum. I told that to my wife, like what she thought of that. She did not like that.
You know what you should have done? You should have played the LL Cool J song from Deep Blue Sea. My hat is like a shark's fin.
I wanted to have the throne room.
Matt, that was when Deep Blue Sea decided it had to be Men in Black, where Will Smith has the song at the end of Men in Black.
Right.
And they tried to do it with LL Cool J, and he came up with a song called My Hat is Like a Shark's Fin. It is awful. It's really awful.
Excellent.
As for the Easter eggs, the only one I can think of right now is like there was a James Bond movie where they show James Bond like looking at all the gadgets from the past movies. That's the only one I can think of right now.
Yeah, on Her Majesty's Secret Service, and that was because Sean Connery didn't come back for that one, so they needed to like establish it's the same character. But they also do that in Die Another Day, and it's done really stupidly.
Oh geez, we're at the scene where they're trying to escape and they're blocked by like 100 Godzillas.
There's a Taco Bell sign in the background right there.
Wait, hold on.
It's still not
this movie.
I think I see it. Oh wait.
There's also a Blockbuster sign that was displayed for several seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple scenes.
I mean, nothing tops Demolition Man if we want to go with 90s product placement.
Well, yeah, but Matthew Easter egg.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, that's your name.
The Outrider.
Yeah, he just said.
I'm sorry, you did say that.
But I guess my new one now is seeing the little alien toy here in Godzilla. That's pretty funny. Trying to think of another one. I know it's not really considered it's not an Easter egg, but one of the props on the wall in Anakin's room, I remember seeing that it's a dog toy. I remember seeing that in a Dollar Tree before the movie came out. Because I remember I like went on this thing where like I was visiting my grandparents in North Carolina, and we would go to the Dollar Tree like every 2 days. And I remember seeing that and like thinking, I want to buy that for my dog, but then like you don't want to take that back to Oklahoma on your airplane. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
There you go. Is
Okay,
Matt
well, I have a little girl crying, so that's my cue. I'm sorry. I wanted to stay for this whole thing.
Oh no, man! I appreciate you joining us.
But thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank
Adam,
you.
I appreciate it. Matthew, it's good to see you again.
You too.
I wish you'd come on a more civilized age. I know you and Ryan are still not talking. Maybe you would change that.
Yeah.
I hope you feel better from your crack addiction. I mean, your antibiotics.
Oh, when do you want me to? You need to message me about the expandeduniverse.com. What you
I
want?
want you to do it now.
What do you want me to post? I don't remember what the prompt was. Can you text that to me?
What the subject was
Yeah, I don't remember.
of your entire here.
The Enterprise and Phantom Menace.
I don't remember the Enterprise of Phantom Menace.
What about the ETs in Phantom Menace? Those are pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, that was a good one.
Oh,
Right, later,
right,
man.
man. See you, Matt. Thank you so much, man.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You know who's like a terrible actor that everyone thinks is great?
What's that?
Freaking oh god, what is his name? He was he was Max in Mad Max Fury Road. Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy has. I don't know what Tom Hardy's normal voice is. I just assume it's actually worse than all the other voices he puts on. I watched a movie called Legend, and he played two characters, and both of them sounded just horrendous.
Didn't you share that in a chat?
You're talking like this for the whole movie.
It's a Western, isn't it?
No, it's a British gang movie.
I'm sorry. Godzilla just saw his dead offspring, and then Matthew Brown's like, he looks angry. We should run.
Yeah, see, that's kind of like a little reference to Dragon Slayer again. Mama
So you're
finds-
saying this Roman
Oh,
is a talentless hack?
I don't know. He's probably never saw it, Dragon Slayer, but
It probably didn't have enough America in it for him. It's
Yeah.
like every one of his movies, like past Independence Day, it's like pro-America, and he's not even from America. He's like German.
that ET was Senator
Greebleeps.
Greebleeps from Brodo Asogi.
Yes, which that's just Spielberg spelled backwards.
Oh, gotcha. I'm sorry. I love the taxi cab scene that whole time. Like Philippe's driving and Hank Azaria in the back, just like being a backseat driver during Godzilla attack.
it's funny how he just like shoves a knife blade in the ignition. Yeah, right.
He would have had to at least hotwire that thing.
Yeah.
Whee! Wrapping off Godzilla's foot.
There you go.
I
There's
mean,
no-
you can. I'm pretty sure you can drive if you shove like a screwdriver through the ignition.
I've seen people like pop the hood and like get their car started with a screwdriver like that. I don't know how they do it, but I've seen people do it.
I thought it was a cool scene too. Like the taxi peels out from around the curve, and then a car flies by.
Those kids screaming in the background now. Of course,
No one hears.
you got rid of them,
No, they're in bed.
Matthew. Either
Is someone's volume?
owl under the door.
Someone's movie volume? Adam's earpiece is pretty close to his mic.
It may have been mine. I don't know. I think she might have just.
Everybody's screaming in the movie right now, Jeremy.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a chair.
Yeah, it's a chair. Matthew, move around in your chair. It's Adam. Adam, my bad.
Godzilla just trampled through the military, and I'm surprised that Matthew Broderick's character was like, "Oh, hey, there was the military. We're in a taxi cab. Let's." I'm surprised he thought of that, because I don't feel like the average person would know. Like, oh, let's just throw the cab's identification.
Yeah. That was a cool shot too when Godzilla fell over on the ground.
Yeah, this is like the best, Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner. Yeah, Rob D said a lot of Blockbuster logos in this movie.
Yep.
Yeah, I was telling Matthew earlier, like, I saw a meme. I think I shared it with you guys, but it's just like how, like, man, just a long time ago, like early 90s or like late 90s, like your weekend was basically going to Blockbuster like on a Friday night and renting movies for the whole weekend. Or if there was like a big ice storm that was about to come, like everybody would go to Blockbuster and rent movies to pass the time.
Yep.
The only video rental place I think we have out here now is Family Video.
Yeah, I don't have any near me. See, there's another fire shot.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you wonder if they tried to cover that up, like they knew it was going to be controversial or something, maybe. Like, oh, we can't spit fire. The Godzilla spitting fire. It happens every time there's a car in front of
a copyright thing. I really do.
Okay, because like there were cars involved in the first time, then another time cars are involved.
Well, also, it might have been like a producer thing with TriStar/Sony, where it's like we don't want to be too much like the original because we don't want to explode more.
He could spit the fire from the car exploding.
Because we all know he's just an iguana that got hit with nuclear waste.
I was gonna say though, I'm glad that people aren't like being like, oh, we just want to play it as if Godzilla was real. Like there is nothing real about a 300-foot iguana.
I know that was kind of the issue because they try to play it straight in Godzilla 2014, where that movie is just miserable to sit through.
I like it, but that's just me.
It's so boring. It's one of the most boring things I've ever seen, and I watched Titanic, and that's pretty boring.
It's definitely. Okay, I'm sorry, Jeremy. My wife is gonna watch this later. I got to do this. She loves Titanic.
I mean, a lot of people do. I respect it on a technical level. I don't think the writing's good at all, and Leonardo DiCaprio is not a good actor. People can fight me on that one.
I think he's pretty good. I mean, I
only got an Oscar for getting naked and climbing in a dead horse.
I like his later work. I think the last thing that I saw him in was The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, that was good. Honestly, my favorite role he's ever done was Django Unchained. His southern accent is just beautiful.
I think I've only seen part of that.
Yeah.
That's with Jamie Foxx, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the #1 most advertised movie on Netflix right now.
I have a couple of songs from the movie, but that's it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh, I liked him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh my gosh, on the Brooklyn Bridge, like he's not following us and he just comes right through the bridge like, surprise, mother.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool shot.
That's terrifying.
Crunches down.
But Matt Wilkins had a point. I mean, this is not. I mean, I'll side with Godzilla fans. It's not Godzilla, but as a monster movie and a movie in general, it's good. I like it.
Honestly, I think it's better than Lost World.
You mean Jurassic World or Lost World?
Lost World. Jurassic World isn't a film. Lost World is. Put Godzilla a little above that.
Oh, funny enough, they actually have a Godzilla reference in that movie, Lost World.
I know. That's why I compare them.
It shows when the T-Rex is in the in San Diego. It shows a group of Japanese men.
Oh yeah,
and they're saying in Japanese, "This is why we left Tokyo." And
I literally, my parents told me about seeing that in the theater. They were the only two that laughed because no one knew what was going on. Like no one got the reference.
yeah. I remember when I first saw it. I remember I was like, "It's like Godzilla." That was a pretty cool scene of him running across the bridge.
Yeah, I like the shot coming up where you get like the.
Oh, he gets stuck.
But yeah, they called him Zilla eventually later because I read that they decided that if he's able to be, well, if you haven't seen this and you're watching, cover your ears. That he's able to be killed so easily by the military, then that takes the god out of Godzilla. That's why they call him just Zilla. Because the original Godzilla, you know, the army could barely scrape him.
Yeah. Really need to rewatch the new Godzilla movie and then watch Godzilla King of the Monsters. But I don't think I'm going to watch that movie until after we.
Well, I don't know if we can. It's too hard. It's really hard to get a copy of it on like a physical.
Well, I think not seeing the movie before we talk about it would be beneficial for the discussion too.
I've already watched it, but it was like a couple of weeks ago. So
yeah, I finished the. I think I already said on here that I finished the book today.
Let's see.
Which I thought was kind of rushed. Matthew, if you remember how the Force Awakens novelization ended, where it was like the last half hour was in 10 pages of the book.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot like that. You're forewarned. Chapter 23 to the epilogue is very rushed.
I think someone also called him Gino, Godzilla. And yeah, I've heard that too. Godzilla in name only.
Would it be Gino or Gyno?
What about Dino?
Gino.
I will say this though. This is like the most emotional monster death scene. Like the music is great with it. And
yeah, it's sad. It made me cry as a little kid.
I remember watching this with my oldest brother and one of his best friends, and whenever Godzilla like moans as he's dying, like I remember his friend saying, "Mommy, can we keep him?"
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen this movie, and because we've been talking over the movie, I can't focus on what they've been talking about. But the French guy, like what? What are you doing there?
He's just agent guy. Well, they created the monster, and he's covering things up.
Yeah,
that's his purpose.
I thought it was just so interesting how they're so easily able to like infiltrate the military.
The government.
Yeah, the military. It's like the Sith thing too. Like just like keep it small and just take over.
Yeah.
But I was just like, but he's just like standing there like with the whole military as Godzilla's on the bridge. I'm just like, dude, if I were you, I'd probably hightail it.
You could tell that rain is fake. That's too much.
That what?
Too much like water falling from the sky.
Yeah.
That's like a thunderstorm out here.
That's like a hurricane.
Yeah.
Tropical storm. Yeah.
It's a better shot of the rain, but
oh, Adam, I just bought that Criterion box set of the Godzilla Showa era.
Oh, man, that's expensive.
It should be getting here Saturday.
Nice. That's yeah. Matthew mentioned earlier about wanting to watch. Man, I'll have to send you a list because I have a list on the best way to watch those movies. Like you have to watch the original black and white one, and then watch like the 80s to like the mid 90s.
Ooh.
You see those? I saw those at Walmart today.
Why don't you buy them for me?
Hold on, wait, blow those up. hold on. Let me. Oh,
Action figures.
yeah.
It's like 65-year anniversary for these.
I have both of those actually.
You do.
Yeah, hold on.
Wow. Yeah, they had a bunch of. They had like Kong and some other monsters I'd never seen before or heard of. Nice.
I had the one that you were holding, the original Godzilla. I used to have that as a toy. I don't know what happened to it.
Oh, I'm Rob D. Earlier asked about King Kong versus Godzilla, and I mentioned that in the original King Kong versus Godzilla, like in one of the scenes where they're fighting, you can clearly see two dolls in the distance, like above some trees. That's how it looked. I'm not kidding.
It's funny.
But yeah, they've those actually used to be very hard to find. Like some of those Godzilla dolls, like especially geez, who's the one I'm thinking of, like the toy company, but they can get very expensive.
Yeah, I remember that because I wanted. Oh god, I wanted Mecha Godzilla really bad. I could never.
Oh, there's a comic book shop down the street that has like a. You see that Godzilla behind me there?
Mhm.
Yeah, they had a Mecha Godzilla one about that size. It was like $30.
It's pretty cool.
If I had space, I'd have a Godzilla.
Yeah, I'm actually about to get rid of some things because my wife has been wanting to declutter, and honestly, I'm kind of saying like, yeah, I have too much stuff, and I
It's hard to
went
do.
through this. Yeah, I know it's hard to do, especially because like I went through this phase. Where I'm just like, ooh, nerdy thing, have to buy it. Ooh, Godzilla thing, definitely have to buy it. And
It's
I did
actually
the same.
it's really easy, guys. It's called a fire.
Yeah.
You just end up homeless afterwards. That's a really dark joke. I apologize.
That's like the second time you've done that.
Oh, I know. No. Are we
Like-
just banned from the stream? Are we still on, or is it
We're-
just
we're still on.
Because I want.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Okay, I was like, did we get pulled? Like, I don't remember.
Sorry about that.
But no, I have Ender, who was on Legends podcast. Adam met him. Ender is a spoiled brat, and I'm not afraid to say that. He just is. He's a spoiled rotten brat, and his name on Facebook, like in he and I have like a private IM chat, and I changed his name to Check Your Privilege. He's like, well, why don't you check your privilege too? And I'm like, well, you have a house. I don't have anything.
And here we get the famous ending
Sequel,
scene.
baby.
Yep. And that is Godzilla.
And we get Puff Daddy.
Man,
Also known as P. Diddy, also known as Diddy.
I will say I would have been okay with 2 more movies. Like I still have to watch the animated series. I might do that later. Actually,
Yeah, we do it. Hey, before you have to go back to work full time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Might as well.
That'll be my last.
I forgot you're in a state that actually is opening up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slowly.
I had to go to Lowe's today, and people are out like crazy.
Yeah, I went grocery shopping, and I don't like grocery shopping, but I do it just so I can get out of the house. But I just recently decided, hey, I could like download a podcast on Spotify and just listen to it, and I did that today. It was probably I love it too because like you have your headphones in, people don't talk to you and everything because both of you are looking at your phones. No, you're good.
Your actual job offer just got texted to me.
Oh, by all means. Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about my failed interview.
Well, I was just looking at this virus thing. It looks like it's shows that it's increasing in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I saw somewhere that it's there's like a casino that where someone that worked there got it, and I'm like, here we go.
Yep.
And
well, that's crazy.
But let me think about. So Watching it again though, like, what are your overall thoughts on Godzilla? Like, is it better than you remember, or?
Same. I was just enjoying. I know it's cheesy. It's full of cheese, but I like it.
I want to go back and watch it in sound, and I was tempted to do that before because I don't know. It's just I love when he first comes to New York.
Yeah.
I thought it was like played in the most somewhat somewhat comical of ways. Like, honestly, though, that fisherman that hooked Godzilla, I feel like he would have been miles into the ocean, like just by getting hooked in.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny that a fisherman tried to reel in Godzilla. Like,
No, he did. He did reel him in, and he just destroyed that fisherman. Destroyed New York. This movie's his fault.
there's a line from Jaws that when they actually get a couple of barrels hooked into the shark and they're trying to drive in, and then Quint says, "Back home we have a taxidermy man. He's gonna have a heart attack when you see what I brought him." I'm just that fisherman's like, "Hold my beer."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was also gonna mention I do have a. I'm still working on. Okay, I have a Jaws review coming, but I was tempted to put it on hold again for this reason. It takes place around the 4th of July, and I thought it'd be kind of a cool 4th of July video, but I still might do it earlier. I don't know.
Well, just shoot it now. Well,
That's
it's fresh, and you just leave it.
Rob D, he enjoyed it. He'd watch it again.
Oh yeah, Rob D hasn't. Let me pull that up. Rob D hasn't seen it. That's
Next
awesome.
time, yeah, watch it again without us bozos talking over it.
Yeah,
Especially the one that left.
I know it turned into like Mystery Science Theater meets Christmas talk, and but no, but yeah, definitely watch it again. It was I'm glad you liked it. It's a lot better with sound, and like I said, not with us giving our 2-hour commentary on it. But I'm glad that you watched it with us.
Yeah.
So when are we doing the Death Wish watch through of every Death Wish movie?
I
When
don't
you
know.
go to Amazon Prime, that's what you need to do. They're all free on there, all 6 of them.
All free after your dog.
Yep.
I sound like Jeremy laughing for a second, but he wasn't moving, and then I heard the little dog bark after. Okay. It was weird.
Jeremy, I asked Matthew earlier, do you have any upcoming videos or projects that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I can talk about this. I'm doing voiceover for a film that's coming out in Venezuela called Caracas Vice Volume 3. I think I've sent you the trailers for it because I have a cameo in it.
Yeah.
But it's looking like I'm doing the voiceover narrative.
Cool.
For it as well, which means that the movie will be a hybrid of English and Spanish because I'm the only English-speaking person who's speaking English in the film because it's in Venezuela. Although I think there's someone speaking French in it too. As I recall, she's from France.
A James Bond watch through would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need to watch Moonraker when James Bond decided to be Star Wars. And they have survival in space.
I want to do Big Trouble in Little China, but it's not like on any streaming services.
I know it doesn't happen, but I'd laugh if King Ghidorah just showed up while they were celebrating. That would be hilarious. They're just like, yay, then King Ghidorah shows up, they're like, oh.
Oh gosh, I want to talk about him so bad
next week.
I know, because I was there were things I was really happy about that were in the novel that I was like, okay. And then there was a bunch of things that I didn't like, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Yak Face said the special effects hold up well and has been. Yeah, I was surprised. Like when I watched this, like I think a few months ago, I was just like, man, these effects are actually still pretty cool. I know it's a '90s movie, but man, it's. I don't know if it's just nostalgia.
Rob, what did Rob D think about the effects? Since it was his first time watching it.
Yeah, Rob D, what did you think about the the effects and everything. I know you enjoyed the film, but
'Cause, I mean, obviously, it's the '90s. When it came out, it looked incredible. So,
oh, this is cool. Quality Autism's doing a watch along. He just watched The Man with the Golden Gun. Oh yeah, that has Gandalf in it. And
No, it doesn't have Saruman.
oh, Saruman. Yeah, sorry, Count Dooku. Yeah, it has Count
Yeah,
Dooku.
Saruman, if you go by the radio dramatization of Lord of the Rings.
I was thinking that Christopher Lee knew J.R.R. Tolkien and he wanted to play
wanted
Gandalf.
him to play Gandalf.
Yeah, that's why it was in my mind. Yeah, I'm not booting myself for that.
That's right. With his 3 nipples. He has 3 nipples, a man with a golden gun. I'm not making that up. That is something weird they just put in there.
It's weird. I still plan on. I would like to do a watch along over with Dragonheart. There's like 4 movies.
What about Lionheart, the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie that's getting a sequel next year with Jean-Claude Van Damme?
I never saw it.
Actually, I have to ask.
Have you seen a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Matthew?
Have I seen a Jean-Claude
Yeah.
movie? No.
Wow.
I have a novelization with him on the cover. Time Cop.
Time Cop's pretty cool.
I have that novelization.
Have you guys ever seen Christopher Lee play Dracula?
Yeah, these Dracula and the Hammer films. Most of the Hammer films.
I have quite a bit of the Hammer films. He actually does a pretty good job.
It does.
It's just
Also, those movies were very controversial when they came out with the amount of blood and cleavage.
There was one that showed like a full-on topless scene, and I can't remember which one. It was.
As Hammer went into the 70s, it got more risque.
I was about to say, yeah, that's definitely 70s Dracula.
Wait, Rob D. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm sorry. There was a problematic scene with Jeff Goldblum in the first Death Wish movie.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Also, Denzel Washington's in it too. Both of them. Those are their first film appearances.
Really?
Well, yeah. Death Wish is every movie. Death Wish movie has a problematic scene. That's the point of them. Something heinous has to happen to cause Paul Kersey to go kill a bunch of people.
Rob D said it had pretty good effects, and he's only seen 90s to early 2000 movies with really bad effects.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about. There's a movie that I have in mind that's around the same timeline that. I was gonna say that Jurassic Park has actually, for it being really early 90s, has really decent effects.
Well, yeah, it's because they mix practical with the CG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why Jurassic Park 3 looks bad.
You know what I think I'm gonna do? I think the next time I do a watch along, I think it's gonna be Tremors. I love that movie.
Nice. I love Tremors.
That was me. I remember me and my sister, we used to watch that all the time.
He was also Ian. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's
that's weird. I didn't know that either. Even though I was nodding along like this, that's how I read.
just Jeremy's like, just agree to everything.
I can't do that. I'd lose my headphones too.
My dad actually read all the James Bond books, like in order, like all the Ian Fleming ones.
Yeah,
crazy.
Nice, and because he loves James Bond, that's his favorite.
That's his thing.
They're very different from the movies.
Yeah, he was telling me about how I've read Casino Royale. That was the only James Bond book I've ever read.
I've read that too,
and they're pretty dark.
Well, that's Casino Royale. The movie is the only James Bond movie that kind of tonally is the same.
Yeah,
especially the whipping scene.
Yeah. Ugh.
You know, every time I see a chair that doesn't have a seat on it, I call it a Casino Royale chair. There's a scene. I should explain this before because I don't want this to shock anyone. Like you should be forewarned because I saw this at the age of 11 or 12, and I was scarred. There's a scene where Daniel Craig is tied to a chair. They cut it. It's like a wicker like wooden chair, and they cut the bottom out of it, and they like strip him. Like I think he's naked.
He
And
is.
yeah, and they have like a tennis ball tied to like a rope, and they swing it around and they smack him in the nuts over and over.
Yeah, and like eventually, because they're trying to get a password from him, and then eventually Daniel Craig just like looks at the guy doing it. He's like, "Hey, I got a little itch down there. Do you mind?" And then he does it, and then he just starts laughing, and then he's just like, "What's so funny?" It's just like, "Because now the world's gonna know that you died scratching my crotch."
Yeah, it's nasty.
It's
It's the darkest of all of those films. Casino Royale. They never went like darker than that. Although Spectre, the drilling into his brain was a fascinating scene.
Didn't see that. The only new Bond movie that I saw was that Skyfall.
Yeah, Skyfall. I mean, it's the perfect choice.
I enjoyed it.
One that got, I think it won an Oscar.
I know how to play the theme song on the piano, so
Oh, the Adele song.
yeah.
Not to be mixed up with Adele Dazeem, also known as Idito Menzel. We gotta love John Travolta. He is the definition of an elderly person.
Well, quality autism. Just the Bond books are awesome. I read all of them before I saw any of the movies. The Bond from the 60s are relatively close to the books, especially on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Yeah, that's actually one of my dad's favorite movies. And I bought him that book, actually. And the only Bond book I've ever read was Casino Royale. It was dark. It really was.
If I ever find the, do they have a novelization for these Bond movies? Like,
They were ones that weren't based off of novels. Yeah,
I know there's a novel. I thought I saw a novelization of like Tomorrow Never. What is it?
Goldeneye. When I sent you that top 10 movie novelizations, Goldeneye was on there.
Okay, yeah. If I find that one, I want to buy that one for sure.
Yeah, I'd like to read that because that was the first Bond movie not based off of an Ian Fleming novel.
Well, the game was freaking awesome.
Oh yeah.
Fun fact though, Goldeneye was the name of the hotel that Ian Fleming was staying at when he was writing the James Bond books.
Oh, that's weird.
They had a documentary series about Ian Fleming on Netflix. It was like, well, not a documentary series. It was like a mini series about biography and like how his time, like working with the government, how it inspired him to write James Bond. But let's see. Rob D says, me and my buddies watched Titanic a few years ago. We were making jokes about the movie the whole time. We were saying the captain was really saying full speed ahead, straight into
Okay, so that's kind of funny. You and your buddies were watching Titanic. What is the most awkward movie that you and like one of your guy friends watched together? There's like that you shouldn't be watching with like the same gender.
The only thing that I'm sure there's a couple of others, but one that I can think of is when I was in college, me and some of my friends were in West Side Story, and that's based off Romeo and Juliet. And me and a couple of my friends were watching. It was a couple of guy friends and one of my guy friends' girlfriend, later wife. We were watching the Leonardo DiCaprio version, and we were just kind of we were just laughing at the acting and everything. And then eventually she just says, "I'm not watching Romeo and Juliet with a bunch of boys ever again."
Jeremy,
Well, you see, the thing is, when your friend puts on Deep Throat when you're 12, which is like the most famous adult film ever, nothing really tops that with friends, because that was a weird experience. But I had a weird experience watching a movie with my mom, which was I watched Splice, the Adrian Brody film. where he has sex with his with the bird thing that looks like his daughter, or is like has his genes in her.
Weird.
And then it turns into a male and fucks his wife.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, watching that with your mother, and I looked at her. I'm like, this is your fault. You wanted to watch this.
Wow.
I
Me and one of my high school friends, we watched The Notebook. I remember we were like, it was back when I lived with my parents, like back when I was in high school. Me and my friend, he just came over and we was like sitting. We had this front room, it was like an office, and we each like sitting in our recliners, and we're just watching. And my sister walked in and she's like, "You guys are losers." You're like, okay. You're like wiping tears away from our faces and stuff. It was funny.
I mean, so I used to test VCRs as part of my job, and so I'd have like I used to just watch Disney movies, but basically I started to be the only one that did the electronic testing, so I could just watch whatever I wanted. So for a couple months there, I had Basic Instinct as my testing tape. Until my boss said, "Jerry, you can't be watching that." Like, okay. And then
real quick. Yes, they did some for the Brosnan movies as well as Moonraker and The Spy Who Loved Me. Oh, okay. And when James Bond went all BDSM. Jeez, what's another I can? I don't know. I do remember. This didn't directly happen to me, but I remember I was in rehearsing for this Shakespeare play I was in for my senior year of college. And me and my wife went to the same college, and she was going to have a girls' night with her roommates and watch Magic Mike. But I guess a couple of boys just decided to like a couple of their guy friends or one of their roommates' boyfriends shows up with his friends and they watch Magic Mike. And my wife's like texted saying, "Hey, you want to come watch this movie with us?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah, that's a movie I can honestly say I've never seen.
Me neither.
Me neither.
Either. I think aren't there two of them now?
I think so.
I don't like comedies like that anyway. It's not even the stripper aspect of it. I genuinely don't care. When you watch enough French films, you really stop caring about things like that.
Yeah. I do remember I was going to go see the Amazing Spider-Man movie with my dad when it came out around the same time.
That's amazing.
About the same time as Magic Mike, and we were waiting in line to go see it. And one of my wife's or one of my dad's friends that are friends' wives, is what I should say. She came up and started talking to us, and she's like, "Yeah, we were watching Magic Mike in the theater, having a girls' night, and we were just watching people walk in. There would be like group of ladies, one wife bringing in her husband, and he's just like creeping in there, you know." And then like all the ladies applauded him for.
That's funny.
And they were just like,
yeah, that'd be awkward. I think another one that I did. It wasn't really that awkward. It was just like silly. Me and my college roommates watched Marley and Me.
Oh,
and I remember like by the time it was over, like we were all like, you know, sitting on the couch, and they had another love seat type thing and a recliner, and each one of us was sitting in their own chair, and we turned it off, and like, "This movie's stupid." And like look over, and everybody's like crying. It's funny. Like, yeah, I'm not watching that crap again.
I remember whenever I first met my wife, me and my roommates wanted to do our own version of Mystery Science Theater. So we rented out the theater room, and we just found these really bad movies and just started playing them just to kind of make fun of them. And my wife did not know what was going on. She's like, "These guys are annoying." And I don't think she heard of Mystery Science Theater at the time, but
yeah. I tried to show my ex Mystery Science Theater, and it was the episode where they watched Manos, The Hands of Fate, and she was not into it. What's really bad is about a third of what the original Mystery Science Theater like crew watched I had seen before I knew what Mystery Science Theater was. I watch so much garbage.
I like Quality Autism. I watched Attack of the Clones with a friend of mine. The romantic scenes in that film almost killed us. I actually remember watching that with my cousins when we were all like between the ages of like 10 to 12. We just watched that. We were just like, get to the lightsaber fights or something.
Yeah.
And
That's what I call it, going to the bathroom scene.
Exactly.
So his cars with my dad. He liked whenever Guido the forklift yelled in Italian. Oh,
I never watched Cars.
I saw the first two. I wonder how much Pixar had to pay Chevron to use the Chevron cars. Because I had an obsession with Chevron cars as a kid. I think I still have somewhere a ton of Chevron cars. Like that was how they got me to go on like road trips.
Yeah.
For that long, as they give me a Chevron car on the way.
okay. I will say this. I remember I was 14 years old. We went to go see that movie Open Water, the only shark attack movie that uses real sharks.
Oh yeah, that's a boring movie.
There was a scene where it's the couple and there's like they're about to, you know.
Oh, you mean all the scenes? They're like the only two characters in that movie.
Well, the scene where they were in the hotel room and they were about to get it on, and there was like you see the woman full on nude and everything, and I was just like, I was like 14, like, oh man, like I'm with my dad, we're watching a nude scene, like I don't know what to do, and I remember talking to my dad after. I remember talking to him about that after the movie. I was just like, yeah, that was. It's like, I was like, I didn't know there was. Sorry about that, Dad. I know there was a nude scene. He was just like, nah, you're old enough.
My dad did the same thing when we saw 300 together. Also, I did not know that. I didn't know how many positions there were in the Kama Sutra until I saw 300. Because that's like it felt like a 20-minute montage.
Oh my god.
It's like Quality Autism quote.
Going.
I'm haunted by the kiss you should have never given me.
Oh yeah, I remember thinking that was cringy at the time. But mind you, this is at a time when I didn't know movies were bad. I didn't know movies were bad until I saw Ang Lee's The Hulk. And then
Yeah.
I turned to my dad. I'm like, I'm really sorry, Dad, but I didn't like that movie.
I always thought it was funny. Like, of course, I don't want to see the guy with his pants off, but whenever he went back from like running, I think he ran through the desert and then jumped across whatever back in New York, and he turns back into the human, and his pants like shrink with him.
Oh yeah, because they were stretchy boxers or something.
Yeah, and I was like, that should probably just fall off of him, but
that's the whole thing with the Hulk as a character.
Yeah.
So it never made sense.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, he should, like, in the Ultimate comic storyline, I remember there's once, every time he turned into the Hulk would be naked, and he would like steal pants off like overweight corpses, like people that he may have accidentally killed. He would.
Dark.
That is really dark.
Just gonna take pants.
The Ultimate comics are a very dark storyline.
The Ultimate comics are kind of cringy after a while. Like,
I don't think they're continued anymore.
No, they wanted Miles Morales, so they killed the Ultimate Universe and put him in the Marvel 616. So he can have a relationship with Gwen Stacy as Spider-Gwen. Oh, I'm sorry. Was it like Scarlet Spider or something? She has a new name.
Ghost Spider.
Ghost Spider? Dumb. Also known as dumb character name. But yeah, no, I remember the Ultimate Spider-Man was good for a while, and then it just got gimmicky. It was basically when they started putting all of the characters in, like from the other Marvel series.
I call Ultimate Spider-Man probably he's the Spider-Man that I felt bad for the most, because he just kept getting his butt kicked and unmasked and everything, and it was just so sad. But I do have, there was one there was this. I was like 7 years old watching Goldeneye, and like it was that scene where Xenia is doing her aggressive. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And my mom walked in, and I was just like glued to the TV like this. And then she's like, "Turn that off."
I haven't seen the movie. I've only played the video game.
Oh, I won't spoil it. Never. Sorry.
No,
It's-
it's fine. I don't care.
It's not Casino Royale. It's not a warning thing. I'll warn you that Moonraker's bad. Like, I'll warn you that that's the dumbest things I've ever seen. And that's saying something because I've sat through most of Michael Bay's filmography at this point. It's just consistently bad.
I have to ask about this real quick while we're talking about comics. Have you guys seen the news that Robert Pattinson, I guess, refuses to work out?
Yeah, I saw that.
He doesn't want to work out anymore for the Batman role, and I don't know.
Okay, that's gonna be weird then.
I'm just like, I don't know.
Well, we also have to come off with the fact that Ben Affleck was like super roided out.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. Okay.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Go for me while you're at it. Anyway, I'm trying to think of like weird scenes that were like. I mean, there's certain things I can't watch because it's so cringy. Like certain comedy scenes, like in sitcoms, I can't watch because it's just like, oh, this is stupid.
See, Rob D had something. Most awkward moment with my mom and I watched together was Crank. I haven't seen it. We thought it was a great action movie. Then Jason Statham and Amy Stewart. Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's also is the first Crank the one where he attaches the car battery like to his tongue and nip?
I haven't seen the movie, so
like his whole thing is his heart isn't working, so he has to jumpstart his body in various ways. It's an action parody, basically.
Oh, I get you.
It's the same people who directed Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
Oh, yeah, I saw that movie. That was interesting.
Yeah, I like them. They're insane. Two insane people.
Oh, speaking of which, I guess I heard Ghost Rider's in the MCU now, or about to be in the MCU.
Well, I mean, he had a cameo. The one who drove the fire car had a cameo in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., one of the worst series ever made.
Well, Johnny Blaze had a cameo in that. I saw the cameo, but I think they said Johnny Blaze is going to be in the MCU now. Like, I guess
it better be Nick Cage. That's the only thing.
I think it was. It's going to be in the Doctor Strange sequel. But I'm curious who they would get. Like, someone did a fan art of Keanu Reeves as Ghost Rider because
it's got to be Nick Cage, and we got to have his head on a much younger man's body. Because that scene is the funniest thing in that first movie.
I like from the sequel where he's trying to interrogate that guy. It's like, you heard about that thing that killed your friends last night? It's like,
I like in the opening where he just urinates fire.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That sets the tone of that movie perfectly.
Or like it showed like a animation montage of like showing Johnny Blaze like urine, like mooning, like doing a backflip on his motorcycle, mooning the audience. He's like, yeah, it's on YouTube. You should go check it out. Quality Autism said he'd rather get a vasectomy than watch The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, well, if you want to have an interesting watch an episode of The Big Bang Theory when someone's taking out the laugh track.
No.
Watch any sitcom without a laugh track. You'll know which ones are funny and which ones don't work.
Me and my wife have been watching Impractical Jokers, and I came to the conclusion any and every sitcom would be funny if every laugh track was just those four guys laughing.
I don't know. I don't like laugh tracks because I think they're very lowbrow, and like they don't serve a purpose anymore. My two favorite sitcoms of all time, because I don't really like sitcoms, because I had a teacher who I had for 2 classes in my lower division studies that was obsessed with the sitcom formula, and I had to write pitch after like pilot episode of sitcoms, and I over a year period of time, and I'm just like, F this, never again. Like I don't ever want to watch, but if I do, I watch It's Always Sunny. Love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That's what Danny DeVito, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I really like the British in-betweeners, not the American. The American is stupid because anything that comes from MTV is pretty stupid.
I don't watch a lot of sitcoms anymore. Like mostly if I watch sitcoms these days, it's just like, oh, I like Last Man Standing. That's just, I think that's kind of a fun show. But
I've never heard of it.
it's Tim Allen.
Oh, it's not a Home Improvement, the NES, the Super Nintendo game where he's fighting dinosaurs.
It's not Home Improvement, but he does have a lot of his former co-stars on the show as guest stars. Rob D says Nicolas Cage's face is just a living meme.
Nicolas Cage in just about anything is really funny to me. I mean, Wicker Man is probably gold standard Nick Cage.
I watched the original Wicker Man.
Oh yeah, the original is actually a good movie. The remake with Nick Cage is not at all.
Yeah,
The director's cut with the not the bees scene.
I know my eyes.
Not the bees. I just love the freak out.
And he's back.
Not the bees.
It's a little messy back there. Got lights and a camera on a tripod.
That's okay. I got.
Yeah, that looks like the set of a snuff film. What are you doing back there?
Anyway,
filmed
that's Matthew's Tinder photo right there.
with the Dr. Evil. I like to film my reviews in front of the bookshelf
Oh, that's right.
and my work desk with the laptop stuff on it is right there. So it's messy.
Do you remember early on in your new canon reviews when you just had 4 books on like
Like on an empty book, empty shelf, it was like on a shelf that belongs in your garage.
yeah, it was like a gorilla rack.
Which we had that used to be upstairs. Put all our art supply stuff on it, but now that's actually in the garage now, and we got a whole bunch of new, nice little behind the scenes here. It's a little messy in this room for now, but
Yeah, I forgot you said you were getting into like actually getting furniture.
and there's that. Yeah, there's the extra shirts that I put on for when I film multiple videos at once. I'm like, gotta make it look like it's a different day.
Wait, so you're not me, and when you can tell I filmed 5 reviews in one sitting.
Shirt, yeah. So I'm like, I gotta mix it up a little bit.
You know, that's kind of a fun idea. We should do like a video contest to see who has the nerdiest office or like the nerdiest stuff in their office. Just like, and we have like our viewers vote on it. And
I guarantee I would not win that because all of my nerd stuff is basically in a closet right now.
I mean, how much nerdier can you get though? I mean, it's like the secrets of the Jedi. I mean, you think about how stupid
Is
it
that
really
book any good?
I don't know.
I got some. I was going to show these comments. Yakface said somehow Nick Cage is the best actor and the worst actor at the same time.
Well, I know it's wonderful.
Oh,
true.
Speaking of which, he's supposed to be playing Joe Exotic.
Is he really going to?
They're going to be. I think they're making a series, like a sitcom type series. From what I heard, I don't know, but
That'd
it's
be funny.
Joe Exotic playing.
People understood that the people in Tiger King are mostly horrible human beings. I don't think most of the people who watched Tiger King understood that. That's like what I was thinking the whole time. I was like,
Oh, here you go, Matthew.
mouth open, like open gape, like.
I can't remember what channel we talked about this on, about Halloween and how I dressed up as Austin Powers when I was in junior high.
It was us, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was like on your channel, my
I
channel.
don't know if that even made it live or if it was in the chat.
That might be, yeah, because I remember I shared the picture with you guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is what we talked about. Yeah, I rewatched that movie recently. It's dirty.
Yeah.
It's like really dirty.
It was like 5. It was.
Yeah, I was like, why was that like a thing where like kids can buy their Halloween costume? Why did my mom and my dad like say, "Here's Austin Powers"?
It's like it's like all the merchandising for like Predator 2 or Terminator 2 or.
Yeah.
Oh, Robbie has a question for you, Matt.
How many hats do I own? Maybe like 5 or 6, maybe.
I bought a. This is kind of a fun hat story. My roommate in college. This was around the time when Zombieland came out.
Yeah.
And I was dating this girl that went to this other college, and at that college, they had a presentation by Mel Brooks' son, Max Brooks. He wrote World War Z. Yep. And he was giving out some merchandise, and like my girlfriend's roommate at the time brought home a Zombieland gray cap, kind of like yours. And I was just like, my roommate would like this because he's from Texas and he always wore hats like those. And he wore that hat almost every day for like 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And and it just like slowly started, getting beat up and everything. But like, man, I was just like, that hat that was like his trademark hat for like all of college. And Nicolas Cage was awesome in Vampire Kiss, says Quality Autism. I haven't seen Vampire Kiss.
Mm-mm.
Or Vampire's Kiss, sorry.
Me neither. I liked him. Oh gosh, was the National Treasure movies?
My wife actually watched that last night.
They're kind of enjoyable in a really stupid way. They're like rip-off Indiana Jones movies when Disney couldn't get the rights to Indiana Jones.
I was honestly going to ask you guys about that the other night. When I bought those books, I was just like, wait, I know that Indiana Jones is at one of the Disney parks. I'm like, did they have the rights to them?
They had the rights to put the ride up.
Okay.
Because it's the same thing with Star Tours.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kathleen Kennedy didn't she was a producer on it, right?
Last Crusade, yeah.
Okay, because I remember I started watching that Mandalorian behind the scenes thing.
Oh yeah.
Is that good? I was going to watch it.
Oh,
it's okay.
To put content up right now because people are leaving Disney Plus is what that means.
It's like you could tell it's like stuff that
I don't know if I could sit through Dave Filoni and Kathleen Kennedy speaking for that long.
I was actually kind of surprised by Dave Filoni's what he was talking about. I don't know if you guys even noticed that I changed my hat.
Yeah, I did.
Bubba Gump. Bubba.
Mm-hmm.
Should just be every 5 minutes, just change your hat.
That was for Rob. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Dave. Like kind of like not really a new respect for him, but more of an understanding of him after watching all the stuff and then hearing him talk about things.
Yeah,
I still think he screwed up a lot of stuff, like the Ahsoka crap.
You have to understand with Dave, he is just as inaccurate in interviews as George Lucas is. They are two. That's why they got along so well, in my opinion. That and George Lucas was very acting senile in the later times of the Clone Wars. There's a lot of evidence proving that Dave Filoni was running things. Yeah, he just changes facts around. I wait for another 10 years and he'll claim that he came up with Star Wars with George Lucas in 76. It's a matter of time.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to swear because I know I dropped an F-bomb earlier and I apologize.
Yeah, you're fine. That just makes it easier for me to say this video is not for kids. So
So I'm sorry, he's so full of shit. There's no other word for it. I mean, it is so. It's so hard for me to as a EU fan, knowing that he is the biggest supporter of the EU at Disney right now, that has any power over anything.
Yeah,
it disgusts me on so many levels because he doesn't care. He makes a big talk like, oh, I care about this, and this. Like, no, he cares about him. And that's how it's always been. And his characters, well, mainly Ahsoka.
Okay, yeah.
Notice how Hondo and Cad Bane were not present at all.
I was surprised at how focused this last season was. Adam, did you finish?
Mhm.
Okay, I can't remember if you said that you finished watching the last season. I was surprised at how focused it was on just Ahsoka.
I wasn't once the trailers dropped. Honestly, before the trailers dropped, when they said season 7 coming out, I'm like, oh, they're just going to take the not finished rendered episodes and they're just
Fix
going to animate them.
Right.
Because they have all the audio for that. But they didn't do that.
Which is kind of
weird
weird
because
because it's like
watched any of those.
I didn't.
The Cad Bane dies.
So do you think that's their way of like kind of sweeping things under, like, okay, this stuff we're just not going to consider that canon? Because I still really truly believe that in The Mandalorian, that dust jacket and boots that walks up in the desert is Cad Bane.
It could be.
Could be wrong because everybody's saying, "Oh, it's Boba Fett. It's Boba Fett." It's like somebody else has Boba Fett's armor, according to the books Aftermath.
Yeah, like some.
So I can't remember his name. Korn? No.
Oh yeah. Well, no one. Here's the thing: Dave Filoni is going to do what Dave Filoni wants to do, and he's going to contradict whatever he wants to contradict.
Yeah.
And that was my problem,
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you have no idea, Quality Autism. I once got in a fight with 20 grown men in a chat room because I said the Clone Wars was garbage.
I think I
And
remember.
no matter how many factual things that were shaped my opinion, I was told I was wrong for an hour.
Well, Jeremy, your opinion doesn't matter.
Didn't I call you, Matthew, when this was going on, when I was fighting these people?
I remember you telling us something about it. Like,
Yeah,
I just fight with all these old guys about.
I'm fighting with I was literally fighting with people that were twice my age.
Yeah, that's sad.
Here, another question from Quality Autism.
So think Disney cares about what happens in the books? No.
No.
Not anymore.
Man, I just
They've already contradicted the books with Ahsoka.
Well, they contradicted the books with Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, well, yeah. But like with this Clone Wars that just came, this new content, like, okay, we're going to finish our show. I thought he would have had some insight into what happened to his character because he's so like controlling over it. Like he can do whatever he wants. Nobody else can touch her. Yeah, E.K. Johnston was like in constant contact with him to write.
Oh yeah, you have to be in contact with him.
Right. So then to find out like the way that the lightsabers were handled was just like, wow, okay, he just.
I gotta say this, and Jeremy, you might disagree with me, but I gotta say this season of Clone Wars was probably Sam Witwer's best performance as Maul.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But it was still bad.
I thought it was
less bad.
It wasn't as dramatic as it was in Rebels.
Yeah, where he doesn't shut the F up.
The thing, okay, see, I'm going to be completely honest here. I'm on record of saying like I completely dislike the Clone War stuff. I thought like it's kind of grown on me just a little bit. Like, oh, you know, there was some cool stuff. Most of it I disagree with. I thought was stupid. I passionately hate the idea that Anakin had an apprentice.
Oh yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it has to. Okay, if we're going with the established EU lore, what sets Anakin apart on the council and why he can't be made a master is he didn't have an apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
My interpretation, because Clone Wars is either Comp Noir propaganda or it's a HoloNet. It's a holodrama made after Fate of the Jedi, because we know about Abeloth and we know about Abeloth's family and that Anakin and Obi-Wan interacted with them at some point in the Clone War or at some point in general. I always interpreted it as Ahsoka lost her master and Anakin took care of her for a time and was a mentor figure.
You know, thinking about that, I think Ahsoka and Anakin's story would have been a lot better if they were just mostly friends in the Jedi. Like maybe not master and apprentice, but maybe more like they were just good friends.
Yeah.
but like an older brother figure.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Even not. Well, I guess you could. Never mind. Yeah. That way
I
would have.
say, I was going to bring this up. I'm currently working on an article for Matt Wilkins on the Expanded Universe website. I don't know if you get. I mean, I'm sure you guys will agree, but I'm talking about my disappointment with Disney's portrayal or demise of Luke Skywalker, and I won't go too much into it. But I'm just like, I don't know. It's
My mom will not watch a Star Wars movie because of Last Jedi, because of what they did with Luke.
I mean, I remember talking to my brother about it, and we both kind of agreed that it's just like we just kind of felt like a part of our childhood die. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
anyway.
wait till you read Jedi Academy. Then you'll really be like, oof.
It's like there's those little layers to me that I think the three of us talked about privately. It was there's still that little canon like tiers where it's like the only thing in my mind that actually truly matters is episode 4, 5, and 6, and then
you're a purist.
and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you've got the like, oh, here's the expanded universe canon with all this stuff, and then there's the canon where you got, well, here's all the movies, and then here's all the movies with all the novels.
So,
you know what I mean?
Well, I consider the Star Wars saga and C canon on the same plane of existence. There's things I don't like about them, like cough cough Force Unleashed is the stupidest thing ever made, and Filoni's Clone Wars, but a lot of Filoni's Clone Wars is T canon. What I have an issue with is Karen Miller specifically and her butchering of the timeline, which I've been really hard on her. That might be what this story, the Holocron, decided needed to happen. This is you have to understand the first season of Clone Wars, Leland Shee was trying to fix the continuity every episode.
You see this comment, Jeremy?
It's true.
Really?
I don't know. You see, my thing on Dave Filoni is I haven't paid much attention to him, and I don't know after hearing everything about him if I want to start. I mean, I mean, I've only heard maybe a couple people talk about how much they love him, and but everybody else, I mean, power to him if he's proud of what he's done, but it's just, I don't know. I'm still iffy about the whole Ahsoka thing. Like, as a character, she's fine. I'm with Matthew. I don't know if she should have been Anakin's apprentice.
It takes away from
her as a character for the first half of that series. She's unbearable. When she's dressed in like the way she's dressed in the early seasons.
Yeah.
Which, you know why they changed that, Matthew? Karen Travis made them change that, because in No Prisoners, Captain Pelion says, you can't dress like that on my ship.
Nice.
Or wear like military fatigues.
Nice. It was, to me, it's inappropriate. I mean, it's like she's the little girl with the most revealing clothes. I was like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah, it was creepy.
But it's like the older she gets, the more like covered she is.
I call it a reverse Shakti. Shakti's dressed terribly in Force Unleashed. Another thing I don't like.
Speaking of Shakti, I've watched videos where people have asked other like Star Wars YouTubers if apparently there was like this thing that the Shakti mention in Clone Wars by Obi-Wan made that deleted scene canon in Revenge of the Sith.
No.
But yeah, I heard that it got debunked pretty quick.
No, it's Shakti's canon death is that Starkiller killed her on Felucia.
I thought that was Legends.
Oh, Legends. Oh, I have no idea what they do with Shakti.
I
This
thought
is
she
the
died.
same canon where they decided Barriss Ophi was not Anakin's age. She was actually Ahsoka's age, so she de-aged.
Silly nonsense, really, all of it.
But
And also Barriss Ophi betrayed everyone, even
I
though
think
he read MedStar.
I will say that whole scene with, Ahsoka being framed, everything, this is probably just me, but that's actually my favorite story arc of the whole Clone Wars.
Well, it's not terrible.
I mean,
it's like later on, like in the last season, it's like, okay, I can stand behind her being a character, like a
Yeah,
not
the
really,
last arc when it got into Revenge of the Sith, that was fine.
but just like never have her associated with Skywalker. To me, it diminishes the relationship between Kenobi and Anakin
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
a lot.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna Ayla Sakura revealing clothes is one thing. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that until you guys mentioned it, but now I was like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah,
It is. Yeah. Also,
Qualia Shakti is the Kenny of Star Wars. She died 4 or 5 times.
it's like Crook. It's the same way. If you follow the Legends timeline, he dies in Gingy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars. Well, we think he dies. He goes into a deep, like, meditative coma, and Grievous assumes he kills him and like leaves and takes his lightsaber.
Now, who is that again?
Crook, he's the oh gosh, he's the hairy one in Gingy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars. That's
I remember what you were.
do you have that, Adam?
No, I never went to go get it. I'll have to. We had to save for grocery money and everything. So
yeah, the worst. I just don't eat.
Wait, what was that? I'm sorry, Leland.
I was like thinking of like, oh yeah, grocery money. I'm like, oh, I don't eat. What am I talking about?
I thought you said you didn't need the Clone Wars series. You're like, oh yeah.
Dave Filoni's Clone Wars series either. I wish it didn't exist.
No, I'm talking about the other one, the Tartar.
Oh, did he? No, that mostly stays in canon. It has an issue with Labyrinth of Evil. It's a little wonky. That was a little Gingy Tartakovsky and James Luceno I didn't talk enough, and things got a little messed up.
Well, I think I should probably get going.
Yeah, that's probably a good time to.
Got my final day at work before close. We close tomorrow. Month end crap.
Are you getting off for Memorial Day?
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, that's right. It's Memorial Day. I didn't even know it was Thursday until I looked at the calendar before I hopped on.
Well, everyone, thanks so much for joining us, and thanks for joining with the Godzilla watch along. And again, please sure go check out. I'm going to try to do this right. Check out the Geeks Addict and Stupid Chainsaw Productions. I was trying to point to you guys, and yeah, stay updated. I have a couple of reviews coming, and and Matt, you said you have some reviews coming too.
I've got a giant stack of reviews I got to do, and then like I told you two, I completely forgot to review Mall Shadow Hunter. So I was like looking through my playlist after Jeremy said, "Oh, I've rearranged my playlist." I'm like, "Oh, check mine out." I'm like,
"Oh yeah, I started a new one."
Mall's not here. Uh-oh. So gonna have to fix that.
Jeremy, do you have any reviews coming?
Stealth and Siege.
Oh, nice.
Those are filmed. Also, Shadowhunter and Revenge of the Sith should also be filmed.
Yes, well, everybody stay updated for those. And again, thank you guys so much, and thank you guys for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you guys have a great weekend. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.